Hello. We're here with more Hades, but it's going to be a bit different today. I'm going to do a quick warm-up run so I'm not rusty for the actual footage.
Go on, boyo. Give me your best shot. It's my job.
Hey, Vex. Good to see you front and center for the hype train.
Not possible.
Play a nice, easy warm-up run. No heat. No nonsense.
Which to choose?
Just gonna level up the coin purse, because who cares?
One more time.
So, my title did update, right? It's not showing on here.
Ha.
Yeah, it did. Cool. Daedalus hammer to start, always nice.
It's just the edge I need.
Let's try multi-skewer, because it seems cool.
Come on then.
Beat Hydra once and kept going 3 more times. Oh, this gives like it gives the spear the shield special. Nice, Vex. So now you got a bunch of heat. You gonna turn on the heat?
You're gone.
Oh my god, that's so good. It's like homing. It's way better than the shield special. Oh, I love this. I never knew I wanted this the spear with the shield special, but I definitely do. So, just to avoid disappointment in the future, today we will be turning the alerts off, simply because I don't want them in the VOD. But I do have my recent events open, and I will be checking it as the stream goes on. Got enough to try for Skelly statue? Nice. The statues are cool, and you can admire them now.
Go then. Remind them of the agony which brought them to your realm.
Alright, let's get the Curse of Pain on our new bouncy special, because that seems really cool.
Better.
And now it's
Win
red
now.
when we throw it. Gonna mess with text speech or anything during the interview? Yeah.
Surprise.
I mean, not even like text to speech, but having those like
Don't keep me waiting.
the coin noises or the follow noises or any of that during the interview. You know, it would just like no one want to watch that on the VOD. So if we can avoid it, we will.
So much for them.
And I'll just make sure I'm keeping it professional. Yeah. I'll just make sure I'm checking my my Streamlabs recent events.
That's a relief.
Should we go shake down Sisyphus? Yeah, we're not getting bonus darkness, so let's do it. Actually, in fact, there's got to be a way I can bring that out. So yeah, we'll do it like that. That's good.
Ahoy! Hey, Your
Ahoy.
Highness, how goes it? How is everything?
What are you, Sisyphus, a sailor? Give me your money.
Sure, here you go.
Cheers, mate.
Aphrodite, no.
No thanks.
I'll take that, though.
Take care up there.
The might of Olympus.
Nice 12 more damage on that curse. Now Artemis I will take, for sure. I'm also a big advocate for the bouncing spear and Zeus spear.
this place.
Yeah, that'd be good too. That was fast.
Had enough.
The dead must make a rather easy target, wouldn't you say? Let's see what you can do to them, given your choice of these.
I'll have to be looking at the camera more. I assume he's going to be watching the stream. If not, that'd be kind of funny. Let's take 8% chance to do critical damage.
I'll earn your favor
Getting
yet.
a crit on one of those spear throws would be cool. One of the, like, curses. Oh yeah, the spear bouncing is so much more useful now.
Just getting started.
I'm so afraid I'm gonna like talk over him. I mean, you know how like if you're
Mine.
standing on the edge of a cliff, you're like worried that you're gonna jump off the cliff, even though you're like, I would never do that. But your brain is like, yeah, but what if you did?
More wretches.
And call on possibly notes. Yeah, true.
Just in time. Let's have a look here.
This is one of those trap chests where if you start the room, like if you walk up to it here and you press it, you're gonna immediately get hit by the spikes. This
Consider this a warning.
You lad, huh?
the feeling gets so intense. Ooh, that was quick.
Enough, I've better things to do.
It was
There.
only 6 lost and nothing more. Okay, well we don't want any of those temporary buffs because we don't need them. Debate chest.
Stand aside. More, huh?
It's bouncing to way more enemies than it said it would. Didn't it say it would bounce to like 3 or 4
You
enemies?
should have listened.
Yeah, it says up to 3. It's definitely hit at least 4 before. I think this may be
Consequent
broken
restraints.
good.
Thank the gods.
I mean, more pomegranates? Sure. This build is clearing mobs so quick, yeah? Yeah, it's...
You really think
And it's
you
almost
can get out of
entirely
here?
safe, too. Oh, that infernal gate. I mean, this is my warm-up run, so I didn't want any difficulty.
Make them mad.
Oh, maybe it's supposed to bounce off things 3 times. Yeah, yeah, it bounces off of 3 foes or obstacles. I see, so that's why it hits 4. Because it hits 1, bounces off, hits 1, bounces off, hits 1, bounces off, hits 1, comes back.
Nearly made it.
Back to the lowest depths with them.
Hey, Knock,
that?
no, you didn't miss the interview. He should be calling me in about 20 minutes.
I'm honored.
Requires
Which path?
24 heat. Okay, well, let's go get super darkness. love that they'll hit stuff twice too. That's so good. Why can't the shield behave like this?
The underworld's power.
I wonder if it's gonna be weird hearing Darren Korb voice acting while Darren Korb is regularly talking. Yeah, he tweeted out the stream. It was so funny. I was talking to him like, hey, do you mind if I like shout this stuff out in the official Supergiant stuff? And he was like, oh yeah, if you tweet at me, I'll retweet you. I was like, oh my god.
Pleasure doing business.
Let's Storm Shot's good, Tempest Strike is also good. And then getting more rewards from encounters is always fun. We don't need any more power, so let's take Ocean's Bounty.
Let's make some waves, right, Uncle? For the mirror.
Then there would be no reason to pick the shield. Supergiant knows the social
I'm back
media.
again,
Yeah.
and I'll keep coming back. Beg me for mercy, fool. I think not. You brat. Stand still for me.
She is challenging me to stand still, it's funny.
Damn it.
Cool. I think I warmed up. She died before she could say darkness.
Yes.
I've never heard that one.
You're going nowhere,
Sweetson.
boy.
I am going to be busy Saturday and Sunday, I believe. But today, we've got a special interview planned. I actually have a member of Supergiant Games that's going to call me at 1 p.m. in just about 15 minutes. We're going to have an interview. All kinds of heated up. Yeah, the only thing that isn't warm is my hands. My hands are so cold.
Can't do that. Good. Some of Charon's wares.
Alright, well I don't care about any of that, so we're gonna go.
Going up.
No problem, Sweetson.
Made it to Asphodel.
Alright. Asphodel. Where my mob clearing skills are really going to be put to the test.
Come die again.
I'll send you to the afterlife.
Almost there. That's good.
What do we get? Ooh. There's a blood gate. There's a blood gate, but there's also an Artemis spoon.
Let's see.
And we could get more power on it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'll take it. Inferno bombers.
Man, I should use headphones when I'm streaming more often. I can hear everything now. None of it's echoing in the microphone. Ah. The only reason I don't use headphones usually is because is because I like having multiple people on my streams, and of course it doesn't work for that.
Always a pleasure.
Three extra casts is kind of fun. True Shot is good. Let's take 3 extra casts and then
Better hide.
bank on getting another cast. Or maybe we can just toss 1,000,000 casts into places and
Take what's mine.
get increased
Do
damage
not
for
so
doing it.
much as think about it.
Oops. This is a lot of explosions to keep track of.
Blood and
Struggling with
darkness.
Megara.
There we are.
2 unskilled to both focus on the action and her HP. So when she kills me and the game cuts, I have no clue how far I got to killing her. I don't think there is a way, Suisun. I don't think that's,
Course is set.
yeah. So everyone can have headphones, but that means wires everywhere unless you buy multiple wireless sets, which isn't very convenient. Desktop setups, yeah. Whoops. I just let him hit me.
This won't end well for you.
I'm surprised that didn't hit me. Oh, when you grab the spear, you turn around to where it was when you grabbed it. That's kind of inconvenient. So unless you're holding the direction, which makes you walk, which you don't want to do, you're facing the wrong way.
Not now.
Not now what? Oh, because I tried to throw the spear special when it wasn't back to me yet. I thought he was frustrated that like something happened to him except nothing hit me. Nice knock. Settle in. One thing you can check, know, Suisun, is every time she becomes invincible, it's because you've taken out 1/4 of her health. So you can maybe count how many times she was invincible, and from there, like, realize, oh, that means I got her down to 1/4 health.
Here goes nothing.
And also, I'm sure you've realized this by now, but every time she goes invincible, she unlocks a new move, but she unlocks them at random, so you never know what new move she'll get. She has the dash and the area attack naturally, and then she'll unlock the rapid fire attack and the like ground burst attacks. I just have infinite bloodstones, basically. Throw off the wall right into the enemy. Yeah, there you go, Suisun.
You're hanging out with Ares, are you, Zag? He's quite the chap. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. And now, I'll give you this.
I love Dionysus's voice. It's so perfect. Gain max health whenever you pick up ambrosia. Let's take the festive fog
Cheers to that.
so that we can have the most like unseeable party ever. Hello, it was me, Zagreus, all along.
Onward.
Oof, Zag starting dialogue? No. No, I haven't. That is pretty funny though. I think gods have certain they have certain like greeting messages they'll tell you if you're hurt. Like Aphrodite goes like, "Oh no." So yeah, you must have gotten one of those. Oof. That is so Dionysus.
Oh, good.
Also the name of the new TV show that I'm pitching to ABC Network. That's so Dionysus. So much festive. Okay, we could go get another Ares boon. We could go get even more max health. I mean, we're not really in danger, so I'm gonna get the Ares boon. That's so die.
You're not due, sir.
So, is it the slowest thing in the world now, or does it not stack? I think it doesn't stack. I think I'm quickly figuring out it does not stack.
Farewell.
It just means I can't see it. That's really funny. Have a party, have a party, have a party, have a party, have a party.
In the name of Hades.
Let's take attack and cast, dealing
Let's
20%
kneel then.
more damage. Those are pretty good.
Onward.
Oh! Hey there, useful idiot. Sorry I missed your message there. I think you were the same color as someone
Must have
else.
slept.
Yeah, I'm super
Like you
excited too. Should be any minute now.
Phew. Get me out of here.
Just doing a quick warm-up run here.
Get back in the lava and no one gets hurt.
That's actually not true. I'd still hurt you anyway. Give me my cast back, thank you. I believe I should get like some kind of notification if he calls me. I'm assuming Discord is going to make some noise if I get called. What are you gonna do? Jump in the lava after him? I'm kind of flame resistant. Oh my god, all the parties. There's too much party fog. really quick make sure with Discord. Would actually give me like a notification. Like it would. Is Discord sound turned off for some reason? Okay, well, give me just 1 second here.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm really good. I'm fighting the Hydra right now.
Oh, nice. I guess I should hop on Twitch so I can see what's going on.
Yeah, no problem.
Right. Oh, I have the link. Cool. I guess I'll have to mute it so I don't hear myself.
Yeah, that would that always messes me up.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, how have you been finding the Hydra lately?
Much better than launch. If
Cool.
I do say.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. It's gone through some iterations for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually like really happy with the way you guys made it more fair without making it less hard,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. That's something. It's always a consideration, right? We wanna make it challenging as like the last piece of content that there is right now, while at the same time we want it. If you lose, we want you to feel like it's your fault. You know, we don't want you to feel cheated, especially after slogging through the rest of the rest of the underworld to get there. So
Yeah, I was surprised when you guys took away the walls. That must have been a
Yeah.
big decision.
well, I think what it was just clarity. That because of the way the terrain was set up, there'd be some spots where you'd feel like you were hiding behind a wall and you should be protected, but like a projectile would sort of squeeze between that little obstacle that's there now and what was the wall. So it was just leading to some bad feeling deaths. I think.
Yeah.
It's that thing I was talking about how we want to just
Don't come back.
we want it to feel fair
In the name
as
of
much as
Hades.
possible.
Yeah.
Nice. You running with any heat?
Not right now. This is just my
No heat,
warm-up
cool.
run. Usually
Nice.
I go with about 50.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. So why don't we start with the actual interview questions here?
Sure.
Number one is just in playing all 4 Supergiant games, I've noticed there aren't references to past games hidden in later ones. Is this like a conscious choice by the team, or maybe just a result of always looking forward?
I mean, I think the main
Well, that was interesting.
factor is the decisions that we make are in service of the immersion of the game,
Mhm.
and anything that's going to break that immersion, we try to avoid. And so even if it's like references to our other games, that could be one of those things that's immersion breaking, where it makes you
Yeah.
stop and think about something else. But we have had like little tiny Easter eggs kind of sprinkled throughout
Mm.
the games that are hopefully not distracting, because they're subtle enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try a run with
choice is made.
with no healing.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. Like I got my 120 heat run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very pleased that it took me a long time, but I finally beat it with 120 heat on, and it was I think I squeezed in right before the Zeus nerf, so so I was able to take advantage of lots of power there on the Zeus powers, but yeah, I did it with the
Maxed out
with the
already.
rail and
Oh.
Zeus on attack.
Yeah. Yeah. On launch day, I actually got the Zeus legendary on the adamant rail.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
It's a great video.
I don't even know if I know what the Zeus legendary. I don't even know if I've gotten the Zeus legendary actually.
Oh really? I've actually gotten all of them on stream except for Athena. Athena won't give me
Whoa.
hers.
Cool. Oh, interesting. I've gotten Athena. Have I gotten Athena's? I don't know if I've got Athena's. That's cool. What is the Zeus legendary actually? I don't think I know.
It's whenever your chain lightning hits something, it splits off into 2 things. And-
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Okay. So That's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's like actual chain lightning.
Yeah. That's amazing. That sounds really good. Cool. That's awesome.
I've mastered that.
Yeah, I like. I got the Aphrodite one. I got like once. It might have changed since I got. I've probably got it 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it might have changed since I got it. Is it still you like convert an enemy to your side?
Yeah, you can like charm enemies.
Charm
I think
enemies,
that
yeah.
one's
It's-
definitely the weakest of them for now.
It's like
Hungers.
it's interesting because
Maybe I should switch.
I
things
guess
up.
it's theoretically good if you have like a weak weapon or something, or like a build where you're gonna damage guys a bunch of times.
Mhm.
But if you have like a
Go
big
with that.
attack build, I had like a spear spin build or something, and it wasn't a good complement for that because by the time I would convert a guy, they were dead already because
Ready.
I hit them with my big weapon attack.
Yeah.
Say
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
But yeah, no,
he's talking to us
It's
now.
a curse.
Oh
boy.
yeah.
Say it with me.
I love the new
Blood
look for these.
And darkness.
Oh yeah, no,
Nature
definitely.
available in
Josh
high abundance
Josh
here.
Barnett takes care of a lot of our effectsy
Blood and
kind of stuff, or
darkness will
2D
indeed.
effect stuff, and he sets that
Help
up.
assign it.
We do have a question in chat here.
Yeah.
Ashley about Ashley Barrett, of course.
You know, Ashley Barrett does backing vocals currently on the Underworld mix of Lament of Orpheus right now. So, but yeah, I mean, we love working with Ashley and definitely would like to do it again on this project, but it just depends on there being an appropriate context for it. But yeah, I mean, that's something that is on our radar for sure.
Cool.
May I help you?
So Hades is a roguelike, which is a big departure from previous games. What roguelikes did you look to for inspiration or caution when outlining the game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, several of us on team played a bunch of stuff. I don't know that I've played as many
Aegis.
as some of the people on team, but I know that, I mean, for myself and a few other people really looked at Dead Cells
Where
closely
now?
and thought that the way that they did like the sort of between run advancement thing was really exciting. And that game feels great and it's really interesting take on the genre. And Rogue Legacy was one a while ago that was really exciting to us at the time, and we thought that turned out really well. And so yeah, I mean, stuff like that. I really have been fascinated by Slay the Spire, which is sort of not your traditional roguelike, but definitely takes a couple of genres that I really enjoy and mashes them up in a really interesting way, like the deck building
Aegis grows
sort of
stronger.
card game
Yeah,
with
sort
like a
of,
dungeon. Yeah,
it mashes up like 2 big games and makes them into one, and it does it really well.
yeah. I played a ton of that game, and also, you know, I really enjoy one of my favorite games of last year actually was Into the Breach,
What you get.
and that game, it really does a nice job of combining. Like, I've never played like a, you know, turn-based strategy roguelike thing before, and that was pretty exciting as well. I'm a big fan of turn-based strategy stuff, so I've really played a ton of that game and enjoyed that immensely.
Cool.
So yeah, I think everybody's specific influences on team are different, but I know those are some of the games that a lot of us have checked out for sure.
All right. So, response to the new Skull Crusher and Gorgon enemies was almost entirely negative due to their high difficulty. How do you, as developers, balance adding content that's powerful and fun for the player and content that will challenge and defeat them?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I personally really enjoyed those enemies, and I haven't seen unanimous
okay.
disdain for those
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
myself, but
I definitely was seeing
Yeah.
a lot of whining on the Discord.
yeah, I mean, you know, whining about stuff being hard doesn't
I'm rich.
personally bother me. I think it's fun to have enemies that are hard, you know,
Yeah.
in a game like this. And I think that's part of the thing. I mean, obviously, like, it's a balance because we want it to feel fair. Even if they're hard, we want it to feel like if you had you executed what you did differently, you would have cleared the encounter.
Thank you, mate.
And so it shouldn't feel cheap.
Right.
And so, yeah, but definitely the combination of those 2 enemy types together is pretty rough. Getting locked in place and then smashed for a bunch of damage is can be pretty rough. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it's for me, adding different enemy types that can be really challenging with the wrong loadout, but kind of trivial with the right loadout. I think is fascinating, because especially if that loadout doesn't necessarily match, you know, what you're going to do for the boss or something, what you're going for, can be really interesting and add complexity to the decisions you make on a room-to-room basis. And so I personally, you know, if you put, say, Athena on just about anything, then the Medusa, the Gorgon heads become a lot less challenging, you know, because you can just kind of deflect their things back at them and it's no big deal.
Yeah.
Or dash around. If you have the Athena dash, you know, that's that one in particular really, I think, trivializes those enemies a little bit in a fun way. So yeah, I mean, I find it really fascinating. I'm, again, not the one responsible for incorporating like tuning changes based on community feedback, you know, so so I can sort of, I don't, you know, I'm sort of removed from the the brunt of the complaining.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so, you know, I think ultimately we want everything in the game to feel fair, you know, but we certainly want the challenge level to be high, because it's a game that, you know, you're expected to play a bunch of times.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
that's
definitely a much harder game than previous Supergiant games, and like I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think just sort of by nature of the type of the genre, that's the difficulty is something that comes with the genre.
Absolutely.
And you couldn't, if you made an easy game, if you made a game that you could complete in a single run on your first try, it wouldn't be satisfying.
Right.
You know, part of the fun of a game like this is getting better at the gameplay, and then in the case of this game, or roguelites, I guess, technically, is the sort of steady advancement over, you know, run over run, building out your character on a meta level and making choices to advance your character, you know, on a meta level versus on an immediate level, is all that stuff leads to some pretty exciting choices, I think.
Yeah, and if it was easy to get out of the underworld, none of your story would make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. We're trying. I think we're trying our best to incorporate the mechanics of this genre of the kind of game we're making into the story as best as possible, and have that be just sort of one and the same thing.
Cool. Vex Composure in the chat asks, what influences has this game being a roguelike had on writing the soundtrack?
Yeah, I mean, I think one specific way that it's had an effect is the bulk of this game is spent out fighting stuff, and so the bulk of the music coverage is for that context.
Yeah.
And so the pieces that are intended to play while you're fighting dudes are like pretty long, with sort of a couple of different levels of intensity. And the way we've set that up is we have basically all the pieces that play while you're sort of traversing the underworld have a full form in a sort of like folk arrangement, and then the entire form again in like a really intense like hard rock arrangement, and the whole thing has a bass stem, sort of guitars stem, and a percussion stem, which also contains some keyboards, some synthesizer stuff. So those stems can play basically in any combination, and then when you get to a boss or a mini boss, the intense part, the intense version of the piece kicks in. And so the idea was that these pieces need to be long enough so that they don't get repetitive over a single instance of you playing, and varied enough so that they don't get repetitive over a bunch of instances of you playing. And so yeah, those are some of the considerations that that I had to keep in mind when making stuff for this kind of a game, where I know you're going to experience these pieces a bunch, but hopefully they're sort of long enough, and the sort of stem variance adds enough variety to the pieces themselves so that they don't feel repetitive in a negative way, and that the repetition is more of like an association that is positive. Ultimately, that's the hope.
I imagine it's kind of weird to remix your own music like that.
Yeah, I mean, I dabbled. We started doing stem-based stuff in Transistor, and did like a similar sort of stem setup for each piece, where each piece had about 3 stems. And then in Pyre, we kind of went overboard and did like 7 or 8 stems per piece, and that was pretty intense. And so we've been doing some sort of stem experimentation for a while, but yeah, it seemed right at home, I think, on this project to do some amount of like stem-based changes.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed when the action heats up, that's when like it's playing like the trailer song and those kind of things.
Yeah. Yep.
Vex in particular loves the way the percussion kicks in for combat in Transistor.
Awesome. Yeah. We're doing a sort of similar thing in this game as well. Actually, when you defeat, a room, when you enter a room, the percussion kicks in. A room with enemies, that is. And then when you defeat the last enemy, the percussion quiets down and shuts off. So we're trying to do like have that be part of the dynamic system in this game as well.
Cool. If there had been early access versions of previous Supergiant games, what do you think you might have changed or added?
It's an interesting question, because
The power of the gods.
the previous games that we've made, I just think by the nature of what kind of games they are, don't really lend themselves to an early access model. They're just sort of self-contained, kind of, one, maybe 2, maybe 3 playthrough experiences, where you get sort of everything there is after once or twice through the game. With the exception of Pyre, there's a lot of smaller variants in sort of smaller ways on Pyre, but I feel like the other games that we've made just aren't really the kinds of games where early access would make sense. So,
Let's see you handle this.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I feel like the tuning, there's noodly tuning stuff that had we done early access would have maybe changed, but again, it's just a whole different beast.
Anything about your soundtracks or sound design that you like look back on and maybe cringe about or wish you could change?
Not really. Everything we've shipped, I've been happy with the way it's turned out in game. I think maybe sort of a hindsight thing on Pyre was just we did a really, like I was saying, really granular stem setup for Pyre, where we had like 7 or 8 stems on a lot of pieces, and that on some lower spec machines might actually influence performance a little bit, because we have so many stems playing at the same time. So maybe I would have found a way to just not have so many stems, were I to do it all over again. But other than that, I'm pleased with how it all came together.
Cool. In pulling from an existing mythos, how do you draw the line between things that can't be changed and things that can for your version of the mythology?
That is an interesting question, and I feel like I probably can't provide a complete answer to it. Greg Kasavin is our writer and creative director, and he, I'm sure knows what that line is.
Yeah.
But, I will say that finding an interesting take on the existing mythology, I think, is an important aspect of what we're trying to do. Finding a sort of modern, relatable take on this stuff, I think is a priority for Greg, and part of what makes it interesting for us, I think, to work in this area. So, trying to get to the sort of the meat of what is the sort of intent behind the mythology, what's the idea behind it, what's the relatable sort of modern application or something that makes a little bit more sense in a modern context,
Right.
or you know, in the context of like a family drama, which a lot of this is, you know, and a lot of what the original mythology stuff is basically, it's just this big dysfunctional family of gods, and how they air their grievances with one another and sort out their problems.
Yeah, that's always been relevant since the ancient Greek times and now.
Yeah, exactly. So I think drawing upon that aspect of the mythology has been, I know, an influence for Greg, but I don't know that I can speak much more to that, unfortunately,
Right.
just because I don't, you know,
I've got a choice to make.
Once it's, you know, it comes to me like basically once it's written, and you know, to do voiceover stuff.
Here's a more sound designer question for you.
Sure.
As a sound designer, what are the most underappreciated sound effects in games that you notice every time? And what's a sound in Hades that you're really proud of?
Underappreciated sound effects in games. I actually really like cool UI sounds, like menu sounds, and sounds where one thing I've come to feel is that when you see stuff, when you see any sort of visual effects or anything, I've come to just sort of expect there to be an associated sound effect.
I'll make every string
And
count.
so it's fun for me when games have put a lot of care into the like texture of their sort of menu sounds, or just the sort of the feel of their sounds that accompany interesting visual effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would definitely say menu sound effects are one that goes underappreciated.
For sure, yeah, and it's not something you think about much, but having a sort of silent menu where you toggle through stuff silently, you know, this is just like, you don't realize how unsatisfying that is until you do it, you know. So I guess it's that kind of sound stuff. Sounds I really enjoyed. This is not menu stuff. I mean, I really enjoyed making the mirror. As far as menus go, the Mirror of Darkness stuff was really fun for me to make, and was an earlier set of sounds that I made for Hades that I was really happy with how they turned out. And I felt like had an interesting characteristic that was sort of expressive of the vibe of the game and the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think the sounds for the in this last update for the Adamant Rail and for Dionysus were super fun to make.
Yeah.
Just because for the rail, you know, I don't get a lot. I haven't tried to make any sort of gun stuff since Bastion, basically. So it was fun, kind of, you know, I've acquired a bunch of interesting sound libraries and stuff since then. so it's been fun to be able to dig into my libraries and pick out some cool stuff and combine them and mess around with them. So that's been fun. And the Dionysus stuff was just like a, you know, it's just wine and wine related sounds, you know. It's
I love
sort of
the cork popping noise. Actually.
yeah, people celebrating and the, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to do as well.
Is that laughter like a stock thing, or is that like where'd you get the laughter?
I got the laughter. That's a sound library laughter.
Oh, okay, nice.
from my sound ideas sound library, combined with, you know, a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, generally, like I tend to use library sounds, but when I do, I try to combine them with other things or process them in some way so they're not just naked library sounds, you know.
Yeah.
All right, that's quite enough.
Narc says the best sounds are Charon's sounds.
Charon, you know, Logan Cunningham does those. He's the voice of Charon, doing the
Yeah.
groans, various groans. We recorded, I don't know, probably 50 different groans or something for Charon.
That's so
for different
funny.
contexts. Yeah.
I'm just laughing, like imagining you sitting at your computer looking seriously, like playing two different groans over and over and being like,
Which is the right one
Yeah.
for this context? Yeah, no, that's what Greg does mostly. We you know, record. We have like a sentiment, and we record a groan of like, this is a groan that means, you know,
The power of the
means
sea.
this phrase, and we
Yeah.
try to convey that as best we can when we're recording it, basically.
Cool. Vex actually is a musician in chat. He says, I've noticed you have an Akai MPK Mini. I hope I pronounced that right. How much of your writing is done using it, and are there any little tricks or fun things it's allowed you to do?
Mostly it's just I just use it to input, chords, or when I'm doing the sort of melodic stuff with the keyboard part or something. I've been using it for that, but not. I mean, I tend not to write with it that much, just because I tend to go with stringed instruments first. And for this game, a lot of the melodic keyboard stuff has actually been like a little analog keyboard from the 80s that I have, this Casio SK1.
Oh.
So I've been used like for all the like spooky melodic sounds that kind of sound like a theremin. That's that thing with a bunch of effects on it.
That's cool.
So yeah, but mostly I use that for like just inputting chords into MIDI. It has the pads. I don't use the pads a lot. I do most of my drum inputs on like I have an electronic drum set, and I'll play parts in with that. So yeah, it's cool. I like the thing. Sometimes I'll use the like expression knob, or whatever it is, the little expression joystick, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just like sort of a bare bones little MIDI inputter that's as small as, takes up as little real estate on my desk as possible. That's sort of the reason for that guy.
Nice.
Yep.
Vex says he loves the theremin sound.
Awesome.
What do you hope that a casual player gets out of Hades, and what do you hope a hardcore player gets out of the game?
Yeah, this is something that we're really trying to account for on team.
Yeah, I imagine.
We ultimately, I think we would like a sort of average player to be able to reach the end of the story with enough effort.
Darkness.
Yeah, and darkness. Yeah, just sort of, if they keep trying, they'll get there. That sort. You have to eventually develop the sort of muscle memory and skill to beat the bosses. But I think with enough help from darkness and sort of the meta upgrades, that you'll be able to get to the end of the story. And part of the thing about this game is that the story is revealed in part through dying a bunch.
Yeah.
So that is sort of built in, but eventually we want you to be able to like beat the last boss, or whatever that is. And for sort of more hardcore players, I think we're trying to keep the game interesting for like high level players who want to do runs over and over again, by having places for you to put your resources that you've amassed. And the sort of pact system is an attempt to keep the game fresh for players who sort of mastered the base game as it stands right now.
Yeah.
And so we definitely are trying to consider both types of player as we go.
When you're working on a creative project like Hades, do you find it difficult to take your mind off of it, or do you have a very clear work-life balance?
Yeah, I think I used to, when I used to work from home, I lived in New York and telecommuted before the studios based in San Francisco, and all the way through Transistor and the beginning of Pyre, I lived in New York, and the team was based in California.
Yeah.
And so I would work from my apartment, and my schedule of working was sort of unorthodox, and I would just sort of work when I felt inspired, and I would do it in bursts, and I would take a bunch of breaks, and I would kind of do it all the time, because I had the luxury of being able to do that. And then in 2014 I had a kid. I moved to California. So I'm trying deliberately not to be working all the time, because I want to have some separation there for the rest of my life. So I think, to answer the question, I used to kind of have it always kind of percolating, and be always sort of working a little bit. Whereas now I try to designate certain times of the day, working hours for being productive. And sometimes I'll put in some weekend time or evening time, but generally I try to keep it like while I'm at the office or while I'm quote unquote working. Then that's the time when I have it on my brain. But it if I'm writing music,
Divine protection.
Generally that's the time where I'll still be thinking about it, kind of even when I'm not working, because if I have a piece I'm trying to figure out, and mulling it over helps me sort of get there eventually, even if it's sort of subconsciously thinking about a riff and how I'm going to connect it to this other part and what I want the piece to feel like and all that stuff. So sometimes that'll occur in off hours.
Okay. Cool. This one actually comes from my girlfriend's sister, who is a huge fan of all the games. She's the one who got my girlfriend into it, who got me into the games, who
Awesome.
So
Cool.
yeah, when you're writing songs, especially ones like Bound Together or the vocal songs for Transistor, do you only think about the context of the game, or do you think about how it would sound or what it means to someone that's never played the game?
So for me, I tend, the sort of impression of people who don't have game context is definitely secondary and not really a big consideration when I'm working on the pieces. I wanna, it enters my head, but it's not, that's not the priority for me. It's really trying to make a satisfying in-game experience of the music. That's sort of top priority for me. And sometimes especially for the non-lyrical pieces, I'll make sort of special mixes of them to be digested specifically out of context of the game. Like for Pyre, I did that for just about every track. I had to make a sort of special mix of it for the soundtrack, just because of the way they'd all been set up. And actually for Bound Together specifically, I made a different, like a no spoilers version of the song, essentially, where it, the in-game, there are alternate lyrics per character depending on whether or not they ascended.
Yeah, it tells you all their endings. I like that.
And in the soundtrack, I did like a third neutral version where it's just like they stayed true till the end, and it doesn't really say one way or the other what happened to them.
Yeah.
So I do consider it, but it's sort of like I primarily focus on what's going to appear in the game, and then
the next one.
The rest is sort of a bonus.
Bone Hydra. It's been too long.
Suisun asks kind of a technological question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about, like, where are we on procedurally generated music and soundtracks? Do you think there'll ever be an algorithm that can make those?
I don't know. I mean, again, because that's not really, I have no idea, basically, is the short answer, because I don't really, I'm not really focused on that. I'm focused on the opposite thing of that, which is crafting those things,
Yeah.
So I think what I'm doing is sort of at odds with that in a lot of ways. I think we have, something that I do is as I incorporate sort of procedural implementation to pieces that are crafted. That's what all that stuff is, with dynamic stems changing based on what's happening in the game. The drums kicking on when you're fighting enemies is a simple example of that. And all that stuff is meant to vary the experience and tailor it to how you're playing. I think like a fully procedurally generated soundtrack, you're still gonna have to, I mean, I suspect you'd still have to define parameters and say, okay, this part is gonna be, playing this scale, here are the options, and you can play. I mean, I think that is sort of composing still, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to even just like telling the computer what it's allowed to choose or not is still sort of part of the composing process, if you are going to do procedurally generated stuff. So now having a computer write the music completely and just decide all that stuff, that's something that I have no idea about.
Cool.
I'm sure it's on the horizon, and I know that people are experimenting with that stuff. So I don't really know how close it is to being like a replacement for people doing that, you know.
When you're working on a soundtrack or a piece of music, do you tend to wait until you have a solid draft, or do you like to bounce ideas off of others during the creation process?
How many of these are there?
I tend to wait until I have something I want to show people, because you know, my main reason for that is if I show something to someone in an incomplete state, then the notes that I may get back are not really that valuable, because chances are they're going to be notes on stuff I intend to change or complete. And if I say, well, here's the idea, but it's going to have, you know, this production thing I haven't done yet, and it's going to have like a string part, and it's going to have this and that, like, my idea of what that sounds like is much more complete than someone else's, even if I describe it to them. So I think the most efficient thing generally for me is to just kind of finish my idea as best as possible before I try to, you know, solicit feedback. Just in terms of efficiency and having like valuable feedback.
Yeah, it
you
makes
know,
sense.
Feedback on the actual thing versus feedback on what someone imagines it might be based on my description of it. You know.
That's kind of funny in the context of an early access game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, but this, you know, it's interesting because the stuff that we're presenting is stuff that is, to the best of our ability, a fully realized idea. You know,
Yeah.
it's not half ideas. None of the things that we're presenting are ideas that aren't really complete. I mean, obviously we want to polish things, but the state that this stuff is in, hopefully, is closer to like a complete thought than, you know, this is. I would show people this level of completion for, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. It does not feel like a half-finished game.
Yeah, and that's sort of the idea.
Over there.
Yeah, but that's a funny point. Yeah, that in the context of the access game. Yeah.
Cool.
The often patient Zagreus
By the way,
appears to take
that's
repeated
a run of the
gifts
game
in
with
stride, and
no
so
healing and only 1,000
here comes
darkness.
another one for
Yeah,
him.
that's pretty intense.
It's I love the way you can tune the difficulty to your own levels. It made getting the 120 run a lot more interesting than just like turning a difficulty knob up.
Exactly. Yeah, I was really excited about the addition of a couple of the parameters that we added in the last update. Just in particular the I forget what it's called, but it's the one that increases the costs.
Oh, the convenience fee.
Yeah, convenience fee was really fun. It's like it says another strategy one, you know, instead of the ones that just like make the enemies harder, you know. I think are in combination with those kinds of things, the ones that are more like meta strategy things are really fascinating.
I'm a particular fan of the one that makes enemies high speed, because it feels like I'm playing turbo mode from Enter the Gungeon.
Yes. Yeah, it's really hard. That one's so hard, especially in combination with the ones where they have more damage or hell. I mean, anything that makes them better in any other way. That one's so hard. Because the thing that's crazy about that one is it makes the enemies faster, but you're not any faster. You still have the same amount of frames of animation before you can cancel out and move and, you know, and dodge, recover from your dodge. So having the fast enemies, especially with stuff like the numbskulls or the louts, can be really tough just because they're so fast.
Yeah, it's so funny, the louts, like, you might call them louts, but they're no slouches.
No, they're not. yeah, their charge up time gets really, really fast when you have them like a full 25% faster or whatever it is.
So speaking of which, why don't we turn that up as far as it'll go and
It's
play a run
intense.
like that?
That's the limit.
Yeah, if like that were the only, if that's the only modifier, you'd probably be all right.
Mhm.
But oh, do you need to go back and distribute your darkness again?
Yes.
You may have to. Otherwise, you're just gonna have 1,000 darkness distributed. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank goodness you guys added the hold button.
Yes. Yeah, that was good. Because now that we actually have like a lot of stuff, it actually might take you a while to sit there and press the button a bunch of times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody counted like if you wanted to do like a full heat no darkness run and then turn all that off, it would take you like something like 120 clicks.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Well, the game wants me to use the bow, and that is my favorite weapon. So
There you go. You
Feels
can't.
like the
Hey, who
sound.
are you to say no? You know. Yeah.
So I have a question that actually is influenced by my personal life. Is
Yeah.
Does perfectionism ever get in the way of your creative work? Do you have any advice for those of us that have that issue?
Yeah, it's it's one of those things that, of course, throughout the years I've come to terms with that. You
Mhm.
want something to be as good as you can make it
Yeah.
before you chuck it over the fence,
Mhm.
but you gotta, I think the more you make stuff, the better you are at recognizing
This bow could use a
your
little
ability
fine-tuning.
to like how far you're able to take something. If
Mhm.
you can't think of anything else, there's no point. You know what I mean? If it's as good as you can make it, then that's the point at which, even if it's not perfect, which it won't be ever, just coming to terms with the idea that, okay, well, once it's as good as I can make it, that's when I send it off, and just sort of understanding what that point is. Where are you going to be? Where are you satisfied with it? What is that point for you? And figuring all that out, I think is really valuable. And I think a lot of that is just a matter of just making stuff a lot. And because the more you make things, and the more you
Don't cross me again.
have creative projects that you complete, the less precious about them you become.
Mhm.
If that makes sense. So part of what prevents somebody or me in the past from saying, okay, it's time
Aim
to
for the fates.
chuck stuff, to put it out there, is the feeling that you can continue to improve it first, or that there's going to be that, oh no, it's not right, this idea is too important, and if I do it wrong, I'll screw it up. That idea that you might kind of screw it up by continuing to work on it, or making some decisions. Like, none of the decisions that you're making are satisfactory to you, because of this sort of, because you're too attached to the idea. I think that diminishes over time. The more songs you write, the more stuff you make, the more whatever your medium is, the more the more drawings you complete, the more paintings, whatever it is. It's going to become less precious over time, and that just allows you to improve your ability to just sort of make things, and declare things complete enough, which I think is an important thing to be able to do for anybody who does anything creative.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
that
have
makes
my
sense.
attention.
Let's see you
How many
avoid
songs
this.
do you think you've made? Like,
Think you hit me.
just guessing. Ballpark.
Pieces for all the, like, including all the sort of non-lyrical things, like all the pieces for the games and stuff.
Yeah, sure, and even like outside of game development.
Yeah, so I mean, gosh. I mean, some number of something in the low hundreds.
Yeah.
I think is my best guess. There was like, I mean, the Pyre soundtrack had 40 things on it, basically. Like, had 39 pieces.
Yeah, and then there were like 2 other soundtracks to go along with it.
Yeah, those are just sort of variations of I just call it like 40, you know, because those are just basically variations of the same thing, different arrangements and stuff. So 40.
Hey Zach, ever see a fellow by the name of Orpheus down there?
What
Yeah,
the
Forty
is
is
this talking
I
about
bet you
Orpheus?
have. And I have had a fun
Yeah.
thought, a little jest that maybe we could try. If
There
we
you
could
go.
Have a little harmless fun.
Have you unlocked Orpheus's?
That's at the expense
Oh,
of
I guess you
Orpheus.
probably haven't.
You have my full and complete attention.
His second
Darren,
song?
mate.
I don't think I've unlocked the full song.
There you go.
But I have told him about like, oh, that one time that I totally
There you
killed
go.
a Hydra without even looking.
Yeah. I think this is the the real sort of start of that storyline. So hopefully you'll be able to unlock that song. That's cool. But yeah, so I'd say somewhere in like the low hundreds is my guess.
Nice.
How about another?
Is there anything on the game that you like? That you were surprised by the reaction to?
Yeah, one of the things I think that surprised us generally on team
Mm-hmm.
was how quickly people finished the content that we had there available, and how, like, what percentage of people did that, you know?
Yeah.
Because you know, we tried to tune the game to be pretty challenging, and we thought, geez, this is, you know, to get through all the content that we have in the game, there's like a lot of stuff. I would say it's like just about as much content in total as we've have in any other game that we've made, like in a finished state. So the fact that I was just surprised that people got through the content so quickly. So that was surprising to me.
What's for sale?
I for one am absolutely overjoyed that this game is not only this fun, but that it's only getting better.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, it's been super fun to work on too. Honestly, I'm really glad, especially because we're going to be working on it for quite a while longer.
Good idea.
Thank you, mate.
So long for
Yeah, so it's it's certainly been a lot of fun to work on. Yeah.
So, speaking of like the themes in songs, like the ones in Transistor, do you like to put meanings or like themes beyond the ones in the game, beyond those that are like talked about in the game?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it depends on the particular song and the context and all that stuff. I mean, each project is different too, you know. I think for every game, when I make a song, I try to incorporate a lot of the sort of background information that the player isn't necessarily privy to. You know, Greg, for each project, has like a massive game world document that he maintains throughout, and you know, like for Pyre, for example, there was all this information about the Titans and all this other stuff, and the Titan stars and all that, and the you know, the sort of the history of the place, and I incorporated as much of that as I could into you know, when I was writing the lyrics of the songs. And for Transistor, you know, it was a whole different story, because the point of view of the songwriter, I was trying to write all the songs from Red's point of view.
Yeah.
And so the idea was that these were songs that Red, the recording artist, you know, had written and recorded previously, like prior to the events of the game taking place. But I wanted them to have relevance to the context in which you experience them in the game at the same time. So the challenge was to try to have, you know, try to sort of load the tunes with as much meaning as I could. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And of course, you know, on Bastion, the context for the tunes in that is that, you know, Build That Wall is an old Ura wartime song, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the idea, that it's sort of like a song that Zia heard as a kid from her father, you know, and that sort of like, and that was part of the context for me was
Anyone else?
the idea is that these are folk songs.
I'm pleased to see your
And so writing a folk song versus writing a song from a specific artist's point of view versus you know, they're all different animals.
Yeah. I have to apologize. Bastion is actually the game of yours I've played the least.
Oh, that's fine. There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, I started playing Transistor, and then I went back to Bastion, and I think
Yeah.
that's the wrong order to do things in.
Yeah.
But
Sure, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's, you know, we do have, if you do want to, you know, once you get through enough of Bastion, we do have like a dynamic difficulty system in that game. If you want to crank it up and
Oh,
make
yeah.
it tough, yeah, we got the shrine system in there where you sort of invoke the gods, and
Let me see.
and make them angry in different ways, and they add specific challenges, you know, much in the same way the pact system in here does.
I always thought the variable difficulty in Pyre was a lot like tougher and
Yeah.
a little bit less rewarding.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the difficulty in that one, I think the reason it's tougher is because instead of fighting like hordes of enemies, you're fighting like a fairly evenly matched AI. So when you make them like a super player, the challenge there really is felt a lot more, I think, than in the context of like making, you know, each one of these little numbskulls a little harder.
Yeah.
You know, you're making like the 3 AI opponents that you're facing be like super duper AI,
And it
or
makes
have
sense.
so I think the nature of that
You shall regret
the
this.
nature of that for sure is it gets really tough.
Yeah.
I really like, my favorite way to play Pyre, the sort of story mode of Pyre is the true Nightwing mode, where you have to use the Titan stars and they're available like right from the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah,
it makes
I haven't actually gone back and replayed since New Game Plus came out.
Yeah, it's like, it's really intense, and the thing that I think it really forces you into a thing that we sort of always intended for that game was we wanted you to sometimes lose matches and keep going. But what's interesting, you know, people are so, one thing we didn't really count on was that people are so conditioned to just not lose. You know, people would just sort of restart if they lost, or just like save scum, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess we didn't really count on that. But part of the idea is to have the game sort of proceed and have there be interesting consequences that you have to sort of deal with either way, whether you win or lose.
Primordial chaos.
And so True Nightwing mode makes it so that sometimes you just kind of have to lose sometimes, because it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's super fun. I was able to finish the game on True Nightwing mode like in a satisfying way,
Can use this.
and I really when we were testing that, and I really had, that was for the most fun I had playing through the story mode of that game. I love playing multiplayer Pirates. Like when you have other people of like a similar skill level, it's so fun.
Yeah, I actually held
And
a Pyre tournament at my house on my birthday last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, like, because on team, you know, a lot of the way we test the tuning and stuff was by playing each other. And, you know, you have a bunch of people who've been working on Pyre for a few years. They're all pretty good at it, you know? So it would get really intense. It was super fun.
My one of my greatest achievements as a gamer is I beat Greg using the
Yeah.
True Nightwings at PAX.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's great. Yeah, that's fun.
he was a good sport and he played with me.
Oh, sure.
It was
Oh, yeah,
super
he's a
fun.
good sport. You know, he was raised on arcade fighting games, you know, so he's a true good sport.
Yeah, and trust me,
Yeah.
me and plenty of people in chat can appreciate that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I'm definitely a fighting game player myself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Greg was pretty serious back in the day, I think. Oh, so fast.
Yeah, Meg is
So fast.
ridiculous.
Meg is very fast.
Did you see me just get like super
Oh, yes.
comboed there. Oh my god.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Meg is very, very fast when you turn up the speed.
She's doing attacks before other attacks are even done.
Yeah, she's just rolling. She's just rolling through. Nice. Got her anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I've played a lot of this game. The 120 heat
Goodbye
was
for now.
seriously satisfying. Once I finally
Yeah,
figured out how to tune the heat, what weapon to
Yeah.
use.
Yep. Yeah, I had a similar experience. I was bashing my head against 120 heat for like several days. I think it was like a few days where I'd like, okay, I've done the 60 heat. I'm starting to feel like this is doable, you know, and then I would just be like, all right, let's do this. And so I cranked on it for a few days, and ultimately what made it doable was when I sort of retuned how I set up the heat distribution.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Yeah. It was super fun.
All set.
There's some
That's a
good
relief.
questions in chat actually. Was there anyone on the team who just destroyed everybody in Pyre? Who like learned super fast, or?
I mean, I would say that the sort of the people who would beat each other kind of back and forth a lot were
Just what I need.
Greg, myself, Morgan, and Gavin, probably as the people who like would consistently, win matches a lot,
Mm-hmm.
Up we go
Um,
then.
and gave each other a tough time, and would sometimes, would trade victories,
Yeah.
Um,
Which characters did
Probably
you play?
Getting warmer.
I was, I'm a double sap kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Lots of defense.
Yeah, well, so like, it's just a really like wrecked, strange way to play, and I love Manly's ability where
You want to go?
when everybody on your team is dead, the opponent is slowed.
Mm-hmm.
So like, basically they can never score when your whole team is dead.
Yeah, they can't like dominate you like that.
Yeah, they just can't. They have to get by you without killing all your dudes.
Yeah,
Somehow.
it's an annoying denial that definitely fits with his character.
Yeah, it's great, and if you're able to use the sort of shield mechanic with Volfred, like the team shield,
Mm-hmm.
it can be really, really crazy. And even Manly's sapling explosion is really fun if you're able to kind of time that right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun. And then for the third, it'll either be like a cur or a worm. I think like somebody speedy, or I've also done a crone as the third, just someone who can score and someone who can like
What now?
be offensive and take people out.
Yeah. I found the worms actually like the hardest to use in the
Yeah.
story mode.
Yeah, they're tricky until you sort of,
More coming.
unless you have the sort of right upgrade tree and kind of figure out what to do with them, they can be really tricky. Like there are some really fun combos that like Morgan mostly would use because he's our QA person who'd played the game the most, so he like knew all these weird little combos where like I think the harps have one where they can teleport they can like trade places with the nearest opponent.
Oh yeah, the
And-
trade places with the nearest ally, I think it is.
Yeah, the nearest ally. Yeah, that's what it is. Not opponent, obviously. Yeah, ally. And then the let's see. I think it was Faye, May, Bay, whatever you want to call her, had the one where you can teleport to the ball, to the orb.
Oh.
So if you like use those together, you can end up like just if you set it up right and you're on like a big map, you can just have a really crazy score off of a combination of those abilities.
Good.
Yeah.
If you like, I think what was it? It was if you run right next to the ball with I forget. It was a very complicated strategy that was cool to see in action.
Yeah, I think the point is that there's a lot of different stuff you can do, and whatever playstyle you can imagine, it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all viable, and I think a lot of people don't get beyond the take a fast guy and run him around the side strategy, but you sort of have to when you're playing on a higher with more modifiers on. You can't rely on that.
Yeah, or if all your fast guys are, ascended.
Yeah, if your fast guys are knocked out or whatever. Yeah, and part of the way we try to balance that is by having a consequence. If you run it in, that guy sits out, and the fast guys scores aren't worth that much. So you have to figure something out. Oh, another one that's really fun and busted is, or not busted, but is really fun if you can execute it.
Yeah,
is
the colloquial term busted.
Yeah. The imps, the when they die, they create a portal where they died, and you can just sort of run a giant dude. Like if you go right up to the opponent's pyre, die with an imp, and then you can run a giant dude with the orb into your portal and just hop right into their pyre and score for 30 points.
I always I always play the big characters like Zangief and Street Fighter and stuff, and so Jodario was like very satisfying to me in that regard.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jodie's super fun to use. If you can figure out a way to make her effective on offense, it's really good. There's a keepsake that I think, what is it? It makes her have infinite stamina or something just for the first little bit of a match, or every time everybody spawns, and so you just kind of run around and destroy everybody right away. Yeah. You just take her and just annihilate everybody with infinite dashes, and then you're able to
I feel strong.
to dunk at that point, or throw it in.
There was I think there's one for in the story mode for, oh my god, the main character.
Headwind?
Yeah, Headwind. Goodness. Who, if he kills somebody, he gets infinite stamina for a while.
Yeah.
And that's so good to use at the beginning of rounds.
Oh yeah, it's great. And I love, one thing that was really fun was the shoulder smash or something. I forget what it's called, but it's a nomad upgrade where if you jump into another player who's also jumping, they get knocked out.
Yeah, instead of bumping them, you just outright destroy them.
Yep. Yeah. And that is super fun. That one's really cool. Especially in PvP, if you're playing against a person, because people, or advanced AI, because they tend to jump a lot more,
jumping, blocking you.
Exactly. So once, good luck doing that when they get wrecked when they try to block you. So that's a lot of fun.
Very important question here. Who is best waifu, Meg or Dusa?
Oh, that's just it's a preference thing. It's all about you. It's all about what you. I mean, I think I'm probably partial to Dusa just because she's very sweet and she's.
Don't let it go to your head.
Silly,
Yeah.
But Meg is Meg is rad as well.
I was just teasing you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Vex says, Darren, my man. Alright, oh, Laken thought that gay was canon for the Moon-Touched girl's name.
It's
because
whoever.
Of her hair color. Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, Greg had dynamic stuff that would play for any of the names you picked, so they all should seem like they're canon. Is the idea, right?
Yeah, they all play no matter what. In a voice line, and I my girlfriend and I laughed about that when we were playing it. It's oh, they must have had to record so many lines because there were 3 pages of names.
Yeah, I think it was probably when we decided to have the name choice in there and have those all supported by VO. I think it was maybe 200 or 100 extra lines just from that decision. Yeah. So
back to the serious questions. Air quotes. do you feel you're making your best work when you have lots of time or when pressure starts coming?
Come forth, wretches, and stop this
I
meddler.
enjoy deadlines.
Yeah.
And I think they help me. We were talking a little bit about it earlier. How do you get over the sort of perfectionism thing? A deadline. That's how.
Yeah.
It's certainly helpful in overcoming your fear about whether or not something's good enough, because when something is due, it's due. It's better to have something than not have something, right? So you have to sort of hustle, and the part of what's helpful for me creatively about that is a lot of times your first instinct is a good one, and you should try trusting that. And obviously knowing when it's not right is important too, but just sort of seeing where that takes you is a good strategy, I think, for me at least.
Yeah.
And having a tight deadline often can force you to do that. You don't really have a choice but to trust your instincts and to just sort of follow where that goes.
Makes sense.
To the next one.
Yeah, I think just to go back to the Moon Touch Drill thing, I think the generally accepted name is May, because if you have a blank save file and you go to PvP mode, that's her name.
Yeah. That was sort of the one that we mostly used on team, but as far as we're concerned, there's no like one canonical name for her.
Yeah,
they're all equally valid.
Yeah, I love that concept of a character whose name is, like, of course RPGs do it all the time, but they don't have voice acting.
Yeah. If we don't let you type it in, for that very reason, right?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't support that with voice acting.
It's a genuine moment of humor when you go to the end page and the final one is Bay, and the description is just, this cannot possibly be right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We tried to give you a little winky wink, to the player sometimes when.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one tickled me, and when we had to record all the VO for that one was pretty silly.
Yeah. I love the voice. I've talked to Logan Cunningham about his voice for Pyre and everything. So,
yeah.
I'm somewhat of an aspiring voice actor.
Oh, fun.
But yeah, it seems like.
Yeah, that.
Oh, it seems like what he's doing when he's recording, like standing up or sitting down, really affects what he does. Do you have any like similar like tricks for getting in the mood to write a certain song?
Oh, interesting. Song. It depends. I mean, sometimes if I'm trying to do something that isn't just squarely within my comfort zone, I'll kind of look at a bunch of different stuff, and if I'm trying to write something in like a crazy time signature or something, and I know that that's going to be a part of it, I'll go and like look at a bunch of stuff and check out weird Dream Theater songs and just like kind of look around. I'll just sort of look for inspiration in places and see if there's something that an ingredient I can pull from somewhere that I can reinterpret and will inspire me to do something in that vein, but not exactly like it,
Yeah.
And for me, that's always been helpful, is to look at specific things for inspiration, and kind of cherry pick stuff about those things that I like and may want to incorporate in some way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I was working on Transistor, in particular, a few artists were really important to me tonally, as inspirations for what I did on that game, and Imogen Heap, Bjork, Radiohead, even some like Nada Surf and some other stuff in there as well. But those are sort of the big ones for me on that game, Imogen Heap in particular.
Okay.
I sort of modeled my idea of red after like an Imogen Heap type, or like a Portishead, you know, Imogen Heap kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Some combination of those things.
The plus 50% speed Hydra is terrifying.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Yeah.
And don't go back.
Yeah. Imagine plus 500% damage as well. That's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling Amir, I think that the maximum, I think the speed increase should scale up with how much heat it gives you. Was sort of one of my thoughts, because 10% speed is fine. Plus 50% speed is like really bust. Like you're so. I mean, if you have any other things that make the enemies hard, it's real hard.
Yeah.
So like, just the way that sort of multiplicative on the other stuff just seems like it should increase in value a little bit. Like maybe the last 3 or 4 ticks are worth 3 or 4 instead of 2. You know?
Yeah, the same way like which one? I think the healing one does that too.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them sort of increase as you take more levels of it, like the Tenebrous Veil, the like no choices. You know, having 2 choices isn't nearly as hard as only having no choices. You know, like having 1 choice. So that goes 5 and then 10 heat for those. So yeah, that's cool.
I think I don't know about the new patch, but
Someday I'll go
previously
even farther.
there was no way you could do 120 heat run without turning up damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's such an important one.
Yes, we added, I think there's enough stuff now that you don't have to do damage. I'm pretty sure there's 180 total heat available now.
Yeah, that's right.
So that, and you can get a max of 50 from the damage one. So yeah, you can definitely do it without any damage.
Go
Nice.
to your room.
I did my 120 heat one
Pull it off
without
yourself.
any speed increase. I did like
Give me the
maybe
best
like
deal you've got.
250% damage, and I kind of like spread it around.
Mhm.
I don't think I did any extra enemies, and I don't think I did any extra speed, but I think I did a little bit of everything else at least.
Yeah, the way I found to do it
Let's make some
was
adjustments.
no death insurance and as little enemy health as possible. I think I could do it with no death insurance, no pain tolerance, and then like a little bit less shared misery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But max everything else.
Interesting, because I find the death insurance to be a lot easier than the health increase,
Oh, really?
because the health increase on bosses is way harder
Yeah.
and even on big enemies like you know, like the Lout or the for example, or the Wretch, the basic Wretch thug.
Are you seeing what I'm doing on
Yeah,
screen?
yeah.
Just fiddling with the character. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I think the yeah, that, because the health, because those guys have a bunch of health, so when you increase their health, it's more than 1 or 2 additional hits.
Mhm.
Whereas death insurance is just like tag them with anything, you know.
Yeah.
And so I did it with max death insurance and maybe like 10 or 20% health increase. I didn't do shared misery, and I didn't do whipped frenzy, and I did maybe like 25 ranks of that or something like that, or vicious torment.
Mhm.
And I did like full grim inevitability, full tenebrous veil,
Maxed out already.
full convenience fee, maybe like a little pain tolerance.
Should
Yeah,
we
something like
try?
that.
Should we try 120 heat run?
Oh dang, I mean, it's up to you.
To the limit.
Let's.
Oof.
Hmm.
I think what I did is I did Stifling Darkness like maybe like almost maxed. I did it like
Yeah.
2 ranks away from maxed or something, or like 1 rank, yeah.
Yeah, but the last ranks are so like valuable.
They are, but I just like got that. I'd rather have like an extra death insurance and another whatever dash, you know.
Mhm.
So I think what I did is I put that into just like enemy health or something. Just like 10 points of enemy health. Oh dang! You're going full whip frenzy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's do it. Why not? Triple damage, no healing, 50%
Jeez.
faster.
It's a bold move. Very bold. So like that's interesting. Like you just go, yeah. I did 2 dashes and 2 death defiances, I think.
Oh yeah, you need as many death defiance as you can.
You need all the death defiance that you can get, yeah. And I think with 500 heat, you can only get 2.
Some extra cast and maybe.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, you get like 1 or 2 more things basically.
Yeah.
I did thick skin, I think, is what I did. As much as I could. I think I did like a rank of thick skin for the like 5 extra health.
For
just
the 5 extra. I think I'll take the backstab damage because it seems almost random. I just realized I have like a little bit left over. There we go.
Boiling blood, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we got some questions in chat. Do you still have time?
Yeah, sure. I got a little bit of time left.
Okay. So we saw in the documentary that the Chaos voice went through a lot of development. What kind of plugins or like FX were used on the Chaos voice?
It's mostly this plugin called by this company Urcam. I think that's what their company's called, and it's Trax, Trax, Urcam Trax 3, and it's I know that they use that on like the Mass Effect games, on some of the Aliens and other things, like, you know, it's like it's one of those kinds of plugins that I just, we use on Pyre as well for a lot of the voice processing, and that's something where I just like emailed, you know, or posted on like a audio, you know, game audio forums, like, hey, what is the plugin everyone uses for this? Like, what? And I tried a couple of the recommendations, and that one was my favorite.
Oh wow, I didn't know that Tenebrous Veil now shows you the stuff you're not getting. That's cruel.
Yep. It's the best. Oh dang.
I'm gonna take the extra special. The both special is now like very usable, which I'm
you can cancel out of it a little sooner, so it's, you know, it's not so bad. If you get, you know, Zeus on that or something, or Dionysus, pretty good.
Useful Idiot asks, what artists are you drawing inspiration from for Hades?
Yeah, I mean, for Hades it's interesting because it's I think maybe fewer specific artists and more sort of general vibes for me. Like some of the, I'm listening to stuff for production inspiration more than anything else, like the sort of the newer Alice in Chains records, like not the last one, but the one right before it, the one that came out like maybe 2-3 years ago, has like, it's just so heavy, and I wanted to just sort of break down why it was so heavy and what made it feel so just like crunchy and crazy. So that's an influence production wise, and on some of the sort of riffier heavy stuff that I've been doing. And that's been a lot of fun to try to dig in and make stuff that's like, you know, has more intensity from a sort of production standpoint and sonic standpoint. So that's one thing. Alice in Chains of all things. Also, you know, like my friend Grant Henry, who does like Metroid Metal and some other things. He had a Marble Madness cover album that he did. That's like a kind of like proggy metal thing that I found really fascinating, and I've been just sort of trying to listen to a little bit more kind of proggy stuff. Oh, actually, there is one specific thing. There's a Scandinavian folk artist called Vartina, I think is the name, and they have a crazy. They have some crazy time signature stuff that was interesting to me that I've been trying to implement a little bit, like the time signature for Through Tartarus. Is that the name of it? What's it called? Something like that. I think it's something like that.
Oh, the name of the song.
Yeah, the name of the song. It's the sort of trailer music. That one is in basically the same time signature as this particular Bartina song. I thought was really fascinating. Pretty different riff, but when you have like a 21/8 compound meter, it's like it's a distinctive feel for sure. So I've been looking at stuff like that for some inspiration.
You busy, Zacharias?
Cool.
For sure.
Thought maybe I could interest you in some of these old hunting tricks of mine.
Let's see. Oh yeah. Has making music for a game in early access changed the way you develop the soundtrack in the grand scheme of things? Like, is your development process different because of early access?
That's an interesting question. I think the main way in which it is different is just the sort of cadence at which the new music occurs.
Better.
My personal goal is to have new music included with every update.
Oh.
And so far we've done that and plan to continue to do that.
Numbskulls.
Oftentimes, hey, we're doing a new area, we need new, or we sort of fully scope out all of the music that has to occur for this one section of the game. In this case, knowing that we were going to release what we were going to release when the game launched, all the stuff in the game needed coverage, and so I had to do that. But, for example, I think maybe eventually there'll be one more piece of music that plays in Tartarus, and then maybe there'll be another piece of music that plays in Asphodel, and I'll sort of, distribute tracks as I'm able to crank them out throughout the development process.
Yeah.
And then trying to combine that with covering, whatever needs coverage that is new, new areas and new stuff. So yeah, I see in chat. Yeah, it looks like there will probably be at least 12 more pieces of music, and that seems pretty feasible to me. So it's going to be a pretty big soundtrack ultimately, I think. Probably closer to Pyre in terms of the size of the soundtrack than any of the other games.
Nice. I especially like this song, the boss song.
Oh, cool. I only turn the volume up so I can hear.
I'm not sure what this is called.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is the one in 21/8.
Nice.
Yeah. This is that one's pretty intense.
I cut off the end by grabbing the boon.
That's all right.
Let me try and do something for that.
Good night, Knock. We've got a vote for Artemis best waifu in the chat.
Oh, listen. It's your prerogative,
I was intrigued because earlier in a Q&A somebody asked, one of the questions that was answered by Greg was will Zagreus find someone he falls in love with, and Greg's answer was just his usual very cryptic, you could say he already has.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank the gods.
So
Blood and darkness.
the
Death
Switch
is
releases
inescapable.
of your previous games are really exciting.
Awesome.
Did you do any work on those?
I just basically played them and made sure that the game sounded the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
I think I put together trailers. I put together trailers for the Switch versions, which just involved slapping a different end slate onto the trailers that we already had, basically. And there were a couple of shots where we had buttons that I replaced with new game capture from the Switch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was pretty. Yeah, I didn't have to do much. We had a couple of teams helping us out with those ports, so my personal involvement with those was not huge. There's not generally a lot of audio work to be done on a port unless something is really messed up.
Yeah.
Now to collect.
Nice.
Yep.
I'll earn your favor yet.
There was also, I believe, a physical release of Bastion and Transistor, which were...
Just Bastion so far.
Oh, just Bastion, yeah.
Yep.
which is the first time those have been in a physical box.
Yeah, never before. So that was really exciting for us because we didn't. I mean, we just sort of assumed that
Let's see what's up for sale.
that maybe wouldn't happen just because we had no idea whether or not that would ever come together. But yeah, the sort of opportunity lined up, and yeah, we were really happy to be able to put that together.
Cool. Yeah. Do you have a box?
Oh, I got a box. Sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a Bastion box. Yeah, it's cool. It's that it's so funny that it feels like so long ago that we made that game at this point, but it's not. I mean, it's not that. It's 2011. It's not. It's when it came out. It's not forever ago. Less than a decade. So.
Yeah, but it does, like, you guys have come a long way since then.
Yeah, we've been trying to keep busy for sure.
Yeah, I was so surprised when this game was announced.
Yeah, no, that I'm glad that was the desired effect. We wanted people to be shocked and excited about it and all that stuff. So hopefully it had that effect. We were really happy we were able to kind of keep it a secret as long as we were able to. So that felt like sort of Mission Impossible style heist of sorts to do that on the DL.
Oh yeah, especially in today's like online climate.
And to not have anything leak or anything like that. That felt like a feat. So yeah, we were pleased to be able to do that.
Cool. Yeah, the documentary has been fascinating to watch. The developing hell. Is it weird having like cameras with you guys sometimes?
Not really. I mean, we've done, back in the day, like way long ago, we did a little bit that building the Bastion thing with Giant Bomb, and so we've done a little bit of this before. So it's not totally foreign. So yeah, I mean, it's been really fun to be able to document the process. Honestly, just to be able to kind of give people a look into what we're doing, and I think it pairs really well with the early access thing. I think the idea that players get to look inside the development process and see exactly how we're incorporating feedback and sort of how we're dealing with the development cadence and the development cycle of putting something out every 4 weeks.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
look at all those arrows.
Yeah, the improved special thing is so much more fun with like the usable bow special.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
God, I just walked right into this.
Oh no. One little buff that I think was really cool was the change to the way Death Defiance works,
Yeah,
which makes it now. It's now a percentage of your health that it heals to instead of a set amount. So that it actually makes Centaur Hearts better, like by a lot.
Nice.
Especially when you can't heal, because Centaur Hearts are your only means of healing, essentially.
Yeah.
So if you get your health high enough, your total health high enough, it makes Death Defiance like super good, because if you have 200 health or something, you heal to like 80 with Death Defiance.
Yeah, it's really good.
So yeah, I mean, it really makes a huge difference in it, and especially in like a 120 heat run, it can be the difference between like, you get 3 hits until you die, and you get like 4 or 5 hits until you're dead, or you get like a few extra hits.
Yeah.
And each one makes such a big difference.
Oh man, I'll tell you this: I'm not making it out of Tartarus today.
Yeah. It's looking pretty gloomy here.
I'm the one health hero.
You got a shot. You got a shot.
Yeah, as long as I don't get hit from here to the end.
If you happen to encounter a well with a Death Defiance in it, you could purchase that, for example. That's what I spend my money on in I'm doing high heat runs. It's just Death Defiance essentially.
Madcar asks, if you go back to developing games like you did before Hades, what do you think you'll miss most from early access development?
I think not having to be super secretive about what we're working on is really nice. That's super fun. And it's something that we've never experienced before, because everything else we've ever done has been like
What's new, mate?
really, we've been hush-hushed until we announce, and then after the announce, we're still pretty close to the vest about the actual thing people are going to play. So I think that aspect of this has been really fun and interesting, and being able to sort of
If it's punishment you want,
put, you know,
how
kind
am
of
I to say no?
do a little bit of content, see the actual real-time reaction to it, tune it, tweak it, you know, all that stuff. I mean, it's been really useful,
Here's my way.
especially from a gameplay standpoint, to be able to tune the content in that way. It's been really cool. And so yeah, if we do go back to developing games the way that we have in the past, that would certainly be an aspect of it that would be missed for sure.
Speaking of which, are there any hints you can give us for next update?
No. So I mean, you only got to wait like 3 weeks. You know, so
3 whole weeks?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah, no, I mean, I know what you're saying. It's yeah, I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah.
There'll be stuff. There'll be more stuff. That's a hint. There's just gonna be stuff. It's gonna include things. There'll be stuff in it with more things.
Wow, big promises coming out here.
Yes, I'm a veritable Peter Molyneux of promises today.
But yeah, I totally understand. I was just you know, wishful thinking.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things. When we're ready to put it out there, we will. And of course, you know, the way that this development cycle works is stuff changes quickly. And something that we're intending to include today, you know, in a couple of weeks, who knows how much of it will remain in the update and how much of it will be pushed back to a different update, and you know, so mostly the reason that we want to be pretty close to the chest about some of that stuff for at least a little bit is because it's not really set in stone yet, you know. Well, there's a chance. Looks like you may make it out of Tartarus. We'll see.
There we go.
Hey, you got it.
Yeah, that was a perfect Meg fight, actually.
Yep, didn't get hit. Beautiful.
With plus
I love it when
50% speed
that
and plus 50% enemies. I don't know if that affects the Meg fight.
It does. Oh yeah, the 50% speed, and I think the enemies do. Well, I think it maybe just affects the cap. I'm not really sure. I guess it would affect it if you were killing the enemies, if you're like worried about, if you're concentrating on that, you know.
Yeah. My little sister who watches the stream all the time.
Yeah.
She has dubbed her invincibility the Meg Egg.
Meg Egg, nice. I like that.
I hate it when she has the Meg Egg.
You know, just got it. If you want to have a staged, interesting fight, you know, even if you got like OP boon loadout, you know, you gotta get that Meg Egg going.
Yeah. Now even the Hydra displays the Meg Egg.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's the Meg. Yeah, it's a Hydra egg. It's the Meg Egg.
Next island.
Yeah,
Except
no,
it
you gotta
doesn't fit the Hydra, so it's like a little Hydra helmet.
Yeah, a little helmet, a little Hydra helmet. Yeah, gotta bring that helmet for invincibility. All your invincibility needs.
I gotta say, just to praise the game again.
Sure.
Pushback is a thing that I absolutely love. It's fun to do and it's effective. And it's always so nice in a game where the fun stuff is the effective stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's one thing that I find pretty interesting about the knockback stuff is that it's great for ads, you know, but not great for bosses. And so it's like super effective against random enemies. I mean, yeah, the damage increase is good for the boss, but it's certainly not my choice when I get to a boss, you know?
Yeah.
And so I like there's sort of a different, if you're worried about ads, there's one build or one set of powers that you'd want to take. And if you're worried about bosses and trying to do like tons of damage, you know, you have another set of powers that you need to consider. So yeah. I really like that and think that's an interesting, adds a lot of variety to the decisions that you make on a room-to-room basis.
Onward.
Yeah, it used to be with the Hydra being how it was, that there was no point in building for enemies. You had to build for the bosses and just deal with the enemies.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think to some degree that's still true, just because the bosses are the hard. You know, they're always going to be the hardest thing unless you got plus 50 speed or whatever. You know, the you know, making it to the Hydra with all your death defiances intact on 120 heat doesn't mean you're going to beat the Hydra. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and I've got the VODs to prove it.
yes. So, you know, you still need to really consider how you're gonna deal with the bosses, which I think is a fun. I mean, that's sort of like that's a thing in Dead Cells as well. It's a thing in other roguelikes. Is like, how are you gonna deal with the big heavy hitter characters, you know, that you have to face, and that's a consideration. You have to kind of always keep in mind with your build, like, you know, you can always, you know, ooh. Oh man, that's rough.
I was hoping you wouldn't see that.
Yeah, after a certain point, you know, after a certain point in Dead Cells, I could consistently get to near the boss, you know, at least, or the boss. But it took me a long time of dying over and over and over again to figure out, oh, okay, I gotta build, like, I gotta really build for this guy specifically, and I can't, you know, I can't mess around here. Yeah. Something that's great for mobs or some sort of area damage thing or something. It's just like, you just need damage resistance, and you need, you know, the way I went was like ice grenades and, you know, stuff that reduced the damage that was incoming, so I could live long enough to actually take the dude out.
You think you've a chance in hell without my help that might understand? You made a big mistake there, little Hades. Do you watch?
I gotta say, the voices of the gods are absolutely perfect.
Awesome.
Like, you know, Zeus sounding like the big, you know, all-father
Yeah.
thing, and Poseidon being the cool uncle.
Yeah. Like kind of loud uncle is sort of how we think of him, you know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
your drunk uncle, maybe, you know, depending on.
Yeah. He's definitely the uncle that would give you a sip of his ambrosia.
Yeah, who like, and one funny thing for us is like he's the only uncle who like comments on. He's the only god who like comments on the gun right now. He's just like, oh, nice, you know.
Yeah.
Nice gun.
Yeah. Oh, I think what he specifically says is, "Who gave you that?" All
Yeah,
right, never mind,
yeah,
have fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. It's been really fun working with all the different actors on the gods and everything, and yeah, just the VO for this game has actually just been a lot of fun to work on in general.
Yeah, and especially like when we heard the Dionysus voice.
Yeah.
At first, like he's of course like the total like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah. He's real chill. Yeah, Dionysus is lots of chill. Unsurprisingly, he would be pretty chill.
And there, yeah. So we got pretty far, but not the best it could have been.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to call Poseidon Uncle Yeet around here. Especially if you get him on like the shield attack or something.
Yeah. Awesome.
Come in.
Oh, we got new dialogue with you.
Hey, Orpheus,
Ah,
you
look at
notice
that.
The resemblance between me and
Well, I don't play the
I'll tell you
speaking
just
voice of
Oh,
Orpheus.
yeah, that's right.
as hell.
I just do the singing. Yeah.
The same god. I love a good feast, don't I?
I
My
love
dog
this
is
nod to
barking at
actual
something.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
I see it. I can
Yeah, I mean
it.
that's the sort of
It's
idea
like
with this
the god of
storyline
war
is
and you
sort
are
of
intricately linked. It isn't
how
obvious, is it?
how some of these stories that are kind of seemingly ridiculous maybe got distributed or created. You know, what's the genesis for some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Saved, and that's where Dionysus comes from. That is the connection
Hey,
between us.
so
You
my
understand,
dog is
mate?
going nuts.
Oh,
I should probably go
nice. Okay, yeah.
see what's going on with that. But anyway, it's been, I should probably run, but it's been a blast. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. This is a dream come true for me. And,
Awesome,
you
yeah.
know, I hope this isn't the last time it happens. So.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm happy to talk boons and whatever, whatever. So yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and put the word out. Anyone at Supergiant Games is welcome in my stream anytime.
Awesome. Yeah, I will pass it along.
Cool. Thank you so much.
All
Darren.
right. Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Your tale stirs my soul. It truly does.
That
my
was pretty
friend.
fun.
It is a marvel to me that such heroism isn't widely known, and I'm committed to the spread of all such truths.
Dionysus and I appreciate it, mate.
Okay, well, what time is it now? It's about 2:30. Could switch games. You can start breathing now. That was so cool. Jolo Carrot, honestly, all it was I sent an email to Supergiant Games being, like, super hopeful. Saying, like, love your games, would love to have an interview, and they passed it on to Darren Korb, and he got the ball rolling with me. It's I certainly feel like I'm punching above my weight there. So yeah, that's gonna be a good VOD. I think I played pretty well there and behaved myself. I talked over him a couple times, but whatever. I do so.
Your Highness, I was just making the rounds again.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, where do we go from there? I think that's my last stream, you guys, because it can only go downhill from here. Useful Idiot, thank you for the follow. Why did that sound still play? What? Did it come up with a notification? I thought I had the notifications turned off. Life goal completed. Yeah, you're right, Lycan. That's whew. That's
Alright,
it.
so
That's
let's see
the
here.
tops.
No good.
In reality, though, I would definitely like to do that again, and I hope I get the opportunity to. Maybe on another update. But who knows? We'll see. It's a bit hard not to stumble with VoIP delay. Yeah. Yeah, I got to ask all of my questions, and we got to comment on some of the gameplay. Like, I don't think that could have gone better. That was amazing. What do you guys say? Let's get a little straw poll in the chat here. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. You guys go ahead and vote on that. We'll switch games here. Team Deuce's ranks grow stronger. Yeah, you're right, Vex. He's on your side. I mean, I'm Team Meg, if Artemis isn't a choice, because Artemis is the best, but like she's a god, so maybe out of Zagreus's league. Your part god, at least. Yeah, I think Persephone is a god in this version of the mythology, but it's hard to tell since we know so little about
How
her.
many times has it been?
175 runs. Artemis acts like a teenager who's in love with Zagreus. I know, isn't it so cute? Oh, thank goodness I didn't cough during the interview with him. I had to a couple times and I just held it. I understand if you have different taste in waifu. I mean, heck, Aphrodite's in the game. Isn't that the ultimate waifu?
If I sit down, I won't want to get back up.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're switching to Chrono Trigger. I think that's enough Hades for one day for me. I'm I'm still like all jittery. Super cool to have him on. Anyway, just quit out here. And we will start our RPG run again. Especially after when she got her face. Yeah, when she got like an actual I love the artwork for Artemis. She's so pretty. She's like cool. She's got like all sorts of like animal skins on her and everything. Let me switch scenes. Pop. There we go. Hold on. It's not mirrored. We got chat. We got alert widgets on now. Was having the headphones on for Hades a distraction at all? First time playing with headphones. Lava bubbling and asphalt kept making me think it was raining when the wind blew outside. No, I didn't have any problems like that. I noticed a bunch more sounds that I'd never heard before. That was kind of fun. Alright, let's Hey Cindy, yeah, you're just in time. We just switched games. My interview went super well. At least I think so. Game sounds high? Oh yeah, I guess Chrono Trigger's kinda loud, huh? Actually, let's hold on, I know I just turned it right back up, but hold on. I'm gonna change the settings in here. How's that? Was that a little good? Stream is generally quiet. Yeah, Lakehurt, I believe that's, oh, I thought your name was Layken. I've been mispronouncing your name this whole time because it's in black on the dark screen. I'm so sorry. I forgot to check readable colors. Oh my god. Lakehurt. That's because Windows has a problem with capturing microphone audio and always mixes it really quiet, no matter what you do. Like, this is 100% sound on my... That was my plan. The closest you can get to anonymous on Twitch. Yes, Cindy, I'm done with the nonsense. Oh no, I guess I can turn up my mic a little bit. Oh, I turned it down because... Hold on. Okay, now we're at this volume. Your game audio is still freaking loud? Oh. Here, I can turn down the game audio even more. There we go. Okay, so I think we need Soraya because her healing magic is really, really good. That's better? Alright, cool, Vex. Awesome. I turned myself down because I did not want to overpower Darren Korb with my voice. Like, what an awful mistake that would have been. Okay, we can give him the speed belt's pretty useful for dude since he can heal and attack. Can't stop laughing about the headphones. What, do I look like a dork? No, I don't. It just looks like a guy with headphones on. What are they? Cindy's in here trying to make me feel all I'll insecure, but it won't work. I'm very secure. It does look odd just because we're not used to him. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's a much more convenient way to do the stream for me. Hey, Duke. The people miss you. Come on up here, buddy. Come on up here, buddy. Yeah, what if people want to give you a dog treat? I'm allowed. Someone broke me today. Oh, really, Cindy? Was someone super generous in your chat? Or was someone mean to you? Is this like a good or a bad thing? Hey, Duke, come here, buddy. Come on up. Come on, buddy. Hi there. You want to get some dog love? I know you do. I know you do want to get some dog love. Come on up. Come on up here, buddy. Oh, Duke. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you got it. Hi, buddy. Hello. It's good to see you. Did you enjoy your little nap? Yeah, I talked to a famous guy today. All the next stuff was done by one person. Okay. You're a good boy. Yeah. Okay, so the hero medal and the Masamune, that makes sense. For her, we can give her magic up. Let's actually give her more max HP so she lives longer. Yeah. That's gonna be the setup. And then oops. Rated by a party of 13. She subbed herself and gifted 5 community subs. Oh my goodness. Duke lives in a plane beyond the realm of celebrities. Yeah, anyone is just person. And he loves all the persons. Buff Toad. And magic tabs for dude. Did we get the... I keep pressing the wrong button. Did we get the magic for Vex? Yeah, we did. Okay. Battle Toad me up. Okay. Wow, Cindy, that sounds like such a great experience. Congratulations. We've already seen all this. This cutscene's really cool, though. This can only be... Might have been because I gave her 25 of her followers yesterday a sub. Magus's Castle. I'm making friends? Yeah, Cindy. I mean, that totally makes sense. If you're nice to people and they're nice back, then, like, just think of all the positivity you've brought to the world. He's such a good boy. To be fair, I broke her first. Truly. Can I, like, go out and save now to... Yeah, I can just go save. Game sound. Yeah, inside the castle. Oops. Inside the castle, it's supposed to be, like, super quiet. Read about the extra emotes for affiliates now? Yes, I did. I'm so happy. As soon as April hits, I'll have 4 tier 1 emotes, and I don't even know what to do with them. Because of course the Maya and Soraya Faces ones were kind of just placeholders. I really like the Duke emote. Duke Pride new tier 1? Maybe I'll make Duke Pride tier 2. Okay, all 100... Yeah, all 100 to the beasts in the Magus' castle! We heard this before. Yeah, I've been thinking about the best time to include Duke Pride as an emote. Because of course, due to their, like, requirements for uploads, you have to empty that slot for a while they approve your new emote. Kinda sucks. The time is now. Currently have 0 emotes. Where were you thinking of making into an emote, Cindy? Any like jokes or such in your channel that lend themselves to small images? I was thinking of adding a Doug button emote for us, but I don't know. Dance, dance, for tonight our leader is to be born. Ah, here comes the sacrifice. Let's try our new ice water skill. Uncle Yeet emote? That'd be good. Yeah, we could do some Hades emotes even. Yeah. Only a moron would try to kill something that's already dead. Start about a channel joke and that's the first thing that popped up in my mind. I don't know why you hate that game, Cindy. It's so action-packed and fun. Cool. Can I unsub? Ha, you missed me. You're too slow. Okay, I think... Yep, boss time. So, we'll make sure everybody is up on their shots. Please help relieve us of this misery! Cindy the rebel with a cause. You don't even question why ball kicking is a channel joke? What's wrong with you? Oh, do you mean like... Oh, I thought you meant like kicking around like a beach ball or something. Do you mean like kicking somebody in the balls? What? Okay, I have to know what that's about. I just, for some reason, I just read it as like kicking around a beach ball, and I Alright, I wonder if magic hurts this guy a lot. Let's try it. One of the coolest animations in the game right there. Man, the crit chance on that Masamune is so good. Assassinate option? Yeah, sure. Assassin's Creed, I know. I think Vex is 100% crits right now. Calm down. Might be able to keep some more breakfast down. Be back soon. Okay. Thank you for joining us for the whole thing, Vex. Alright, let's aura dude so he doesn't die. Oh my god, he only wants frog. There we go. You dare to oppose me? We gotta get Soraya on healing these guys, because he attacks super fast and his hits do lots of damage. Okay, I shouldn't be hitting him with magic. I didn't see how much damage it did last time. I should have waited and then done an oral whirl. That's okay. Sorry, Cindy, did I miss it? What happens with the assassinate option? Oh, there it is. So if an enemy is laying in the ground in Black Flag and you do assassinate, your character kicks that person always in the private area. At least that's what it looks like. And the enemy then reacts in a way I would expect to be kicked in the balls and then dies. So now we call assassinating people ball kicking people. That would make for a perfect emote, Cindy. It's just like foot in balls. Oh, I would love that. Oh, that got everyone? My goodness. Do another Aura Whirl. Aura Whirls are so good when you're trying to play without armor. Sorry, long story. No, no problem. I get it. Wasn't that long? At least I use that joke a lot. Yeah, that's what makes it a perfect emote. Because people can use it in your chat as soon as it comes up. I'm gonna definitely use a cure on Vex there. Let's try an X strike, because I love that. Ow. Oh, please live. Damn it. We're gonna be able to do an Aura Whirl. Yeah, we are. Yeah. Yeah, we lived that, right? Yeah. Okay. Make sure she lives. Oh, I shouldn't have done it on her. Whoops. Oh well. We gotta do another Aura Whirl. Oh, please don't die. Thank God he attacked the wrong person. Unity doesn't have that option, but we just pretend we ball kick them to death. Wow, I can't believe they would take out such a vital and crucial option. Oh, that really hurt Vex. That really hurt Vex too. Got him. Yeah. Unbelievable, but falling in the line of duty for Magus leaves me with few regrets. We got the Slasher. So you actually get to steal his weapon. And it's a better weapon for Chrono that raises his speed. And the max on speed is 15. So we're actually gonna lower our own speed. There's a glitch in the game, I think with any stat, but it's so ball kicking is a channel joke now. There's a glitch in this game with any stat if it reaches its max. So let's say like I have the speed belt, my base speed is 12, the max is 15. If I put on the speed belt, which raises it by 2, and the Slasher, which raises it by 2, it should be 16, but it caps out at 15. So the speed is 15. Then if I take off the Flint Edge and the speed belt, that's -4 speed, so I'll be at 11 speed. So you'll actually, if you raise a stat past its maximum, and then take whatever raised it off, you lower that stat forever. Let's make sure we're not doing that. Hey Sonic, how's it going? Did you see any of the interview earlier? Made a new friend. Oh, and what's your channel's great news, Cindy? Made a new friend today by licking a window in Walmart. Oh, I feel like you may have not a lot of time to live after doing such a thing. Yeah, like Vex said, maybe hit up a doctor. Maybe go get some antibiotics. Oh, whoops. Sprayed with bleach before looking at. God damn it, Sonic. I reached 150 followers today. Now I'm already on 160. Wow, congratulations, Cindy. That's awesome. It always feels so good to hit milestones like that. Congratulations. Do you want our treasure? Yeah. In that case, will you play with us? Please, pretty please. I think these guys, yeah, these guys are immune. They need to be magicked. Up to 200. It's okay, Cindy. What did you mean? Oh, barrier. Barrier is really good. Barrier is an expensive item that says you cut magic hits by a third. So when you use the barrier in the middle of battle, you gain 1/3 damage resistance to all magic, which is really good. I don't have to tell you. I don't know what the correct way of saying it. Not sure what you're trying to say, Cindy. I'm sorry. The magician flee, I presume. Wait, that isn't Flea. Where's the real Flea? Here, over here. The bat that's been following us ever since we entered the Mystic Cave. Giving up, little tadpole? Who is this person? Keep your guard up. This is no ordinary woman. Meet Flea, the magician. What the? Hey, I'm a guy. That is a guy? Male, female, what's the difference? Power is beautiful, and I've got the power. Poor little froggy, you must be lonely now that Cyrus is gone, and to be turned into something so hideous, dreadful. But since you've brought your new friends over to play, I'll show you all a good time. Oh, I see. Now we're going for the 200. Up to the 200. Yeah, so Cindy, I get what you mean. Like, Like, yeah, next up 200. I need a heal for him. Oh my god, he crit Chrono. Okay, is this guy immune to magic? Or is he weak to magic? That didn't do a whole lot. Up to the... Yeah, Japan sure likes their, what am I trying to say? Oh god, stop hitting us, Frog, you stupid idiot. Ambiguous characters. Ambiguous gendered characters. Rainbow Storm, Wind of Poison. Vex is poisoned. Ambiguity, yeah. Oh no. Please miss, please miss, please miss. It never misses. Let's try a lightning. If this heals her, I'm gonna be mad. Okay, it's not that effective though. They antidote me. Guess they never miss. What a dumb song. Did she fall asleep? The stare flees magic. I believe that was actually supposed to be like Flea's love magic or something along those lines. Flea, of course, is a boss that really tests your ability to withstand status effects. That's just straight up damage. Gonna do another Aura Whirl here. That's gonna hurt everybody. No one goes down though, right? Okay. I am of the poison, this is BS. Oh, that's funny, Cindy. Well, I mean, funny in like, oh no, kind of way. Oh god. Dead? No. Yeah, it's gonna be constant, constant regeneration here. That's how we're gonna stay alive. That doesn't do over 100, does it? No. Oh, Vex is down. Both are down? Yep. She got me. He got me. Everyone to follow me, and that's why I have now 150 followers. So it's sort of a good thing I fell asleep on stream. That's funny, yeah. Some happy little accidents. Let's not get their treasure. My day's been freaking weird. My day's been really good, Cindy. I'm glad good things have happened to us today. Okay.
I still can't believe we got Korb Senpai on stream, Squee. You got me all embarrassed when you named me and mentioned my musicianship Baga. He was so cool. Hashtag Team Deuces Snakes in chat.
Thank you for still losing it for the $1. I really appreciate it. And yeah, you're welcome. I will try my best to do that again. Maybe it'll be Darren next time, maybe not, who knows. We got some snakes in chat from Beck's Composure. Poisoned. Both of them? Oh boy. Yeah, do it, Cindy. Post it in the Discord. Oh no. Can't have them being confused because then they use their turn to attack the team. true, Vex. Yeah. Oh my god, she got 2 attacks in a row. How am I supposed to deal with this? Oh, that's how I deal. Perfect. How can this be, Sir Magus? Full release will bring all kinds of possibilities. Yep. You can go find a magic tab in her chair. Actually, can't you find a speed tab in Slash's chair? Did I put on the slasher? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Oh. The emote explosion only happens on stream, so I don't see the explosions. I look at my stream preview. Oh, okay, I see. So that's why you might not react to it immediately. I'm actually gonna go check to see if there's a speed tab in Slash's chair. Oh no, because there's a save point there. Yeah. Well, at least we can use a shelter here and save. Unless we can't. There we go. The battles feel a lot closer and more hectic with no armor on. I think it's a nice handicap that sort of brings a lot to the game. You still get to do high damage numbers and stuff, and yeah. Well, I actually react more to the subs in chat in the clip, not to the emote explosion, but I thought I would at least mention it. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense to me. Can't avoid that fight. Oh, it was delayed? Oh no, Vex. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have done this, but in a lot of my first streams, or not in a lot, but in a couple, I was just streaming and I didn't realize until somebody commented that the audio was like fucked up beyond repair. Like it was a feedback loop that was just awful to listen to. And somebody got like real mad in chat at me. Like, I think I still remember the comment. It was like, Jesus, that audio, no wonder you don't have any viewers. And it was like, it was so mean, but at the same time, like, yep, okay. Your iPad crashed when you read my or oh yeah, when I read your comment. Okay, so magic heals those guys. Yeah. Well, no, I totally get it. Like, I'm glad somebody told me. But anyway, yeah, that was way before I had decided to like stream for real and stuff. So. I actually, one of the things I really liked to stream, and one of the things I do like to stream, is Vine Sauce style corruptions. Because I think corruptions are hilarious. When you take an old game like Super Mario Bros. And you randomly edit the data numbers, and things just get like absolutely destroyed. Like impossible things occur. Oh, Vex just went down, whoops. Just power napping. Yeah, he's back, he's fine. I grow tired of this. Slash. Flee. Sorry, Ozzy, but they can't help you now. You fly-eating, tongue-flicking Ozzy's in a jam! Thou canst not run. Cool piece of armor. Oh yeah, now we got the, welcome. We got this little section where he attempts to use a bunch of traps to lower your health. Waha, how is this? Now he's cranking it faster. Woo, we got through it. What the? Impossible! How's everybody's health? They are fine. Yeah, I don't think I get hit for that. Doomfinger. Oh yeah, Doomfinger is a weapon for Duke. It's actually a really good weapon for Duke. So this is kind of like a reverse Donkey Kong. Well, I guess it's the same thing, Donkey Kong. But instead of jumping over barrels, you have to duck under them to avoid getting in fights. Now this room is full of holes, and I don't remember the layout of it. There's one. Doomfinger sounds like a James Bond parody. Yeah. I was yesterday to search for a Pokemon streamer. Oh, that's funny, Cindy. Hey, I'm not gonna criticize the way you look at the way you find the streams you like, because that's how you found me. I'm assuming. Oh, we found the real one. So there's one real one, two fake attacking ones, which are kind of funny. They don't have a name either. Don't like big streamers, so I always look at the bottom. Makes sense. I'm assuming you'd get pretty frustrated with a big streamer's chat since they can't read your comments as well. I think it's over this way. Nope. So then they reshuffle. Okay, we got the teleport one. Now we go like this. Really? Ah, I touched it. Gosh darn it, Ozzy. You son of a bitch. Thank goodness for fast forward. Yeah, by the way, I found my favorite streamer because he had the wrong game set for his Twitch. That's funny. Lord Eris notices you, Vex. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like Eris. Oh my god. I feel like Eris puts up a big front, but he really does care about his community. He's, oh my god. He's not the big old, like, fuck you, don't talk to me, like he sometimes acts. It's all just like a big joke to him. What the? Impossible. Apparently they've got a multiple counterattack technique. Oh, whoops, he's got the physical defense, that's right. He appreciates the hell out of the people who support him. His consistency and dedication to the stream show it, yeah. Something and he had Rocket League as the game. Oh, that makes sense. So you thought he was playing Rocket League, but he wasn't. He was playing some game you didn't know about. Do you ever like leave? He exploded. He's all about the stream life. Was streaming constantly before Twitch was a thing? Nice. Yeah, I guess I'm a bit of a bandwagoner in that regard. Not exactly an original idea when I went for it, but still, it's still been super fun. It's exactly what I want to do. Excuse me, what are you... What the... He just walked right off the map. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. I didn't want to fight him anyway. Maybe he'll leave if you ask nicely. Maybe. Back then I was the Rocket League police. Everyone that had Rocket League as their game, but were playing a different game, I would visit. That's so funny, Cindy. It's like, be like saying you're a bandwagoner for wanting to make a TV show or write a book. Such a format that appeals to you and your talents. That's a better way to put it, yeah. I'm just, I'm quick to be hard on myself. That question about the perfectionism, that was absolutely for me. And pretty much about me. Bit of a selfish one, but it was the only one I put in there for that, so. Appreciated that question. I've gone without putting a lot due to being hung up on songs. Yeah, it's something I think that everybody struggles with. You know, how do you, like, what's good enough? What's what is your potential? Like, what can you do, and when should you play to 100% of your potential, or create to 100% of your potential? That sort of thing. It's a question a lot of people struggle with, and it's a question that there aren't a lot of, you know, super concrete answers to. Overwatch, that was the game. Why was that so difficult? What the? Impossible! This takes the cake. Speed belt. Now we've got 2 speed belts. Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, I think they're kind of different. Alright, here he is. I'm gonna go get his stuff first. You don't mind, right? Yeah, you don't mind. Okay. What are these things? How are you doing? Are we enemies? I can't really tell. Okay, let's talk to him. Thy time hath cometh, Ozzy. Ha ha ha! I'm sure Sir Magus has already called for reinforcements. Wait until Lavos arrives. I shan't be defeated. No form of attack will break my barrier. It's true. He's... He's invincible. He counterattacks. Ha 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 ha. I love the way this battle plays out. Wee hee hee. Eh? That was a breeze. We must hurry to Magus's place. Oh, I accidentally touched the teleport one first. Good thing you can just touch it to go back. What was that slapstick ending? Yeah, that's the fitting end for the coward Ozzy. I liked hearing his perspective of becoming less precious about each product as you continue to move on and just make more. Someone who sees... He's a very consistent writer. It's an eye-opener as to how he thinks about his projects and putting them out. Yeah, I'm glad that my questions made sense and got like some thought-provoking answers that gave like insight on the development and whatnot. Alright, good night, Cindy. Thanks for joining us. Nuga, Ziena, Zieber, Zo. Now the chosen time has come. Exchange this world for... What are you doing? Are you praying to this dead? What even is that? Well, how did you make the candles light up? Okay. Magus! It's that stupid frog. Kissed any princesses lately? I rather enjoy this form, and I oweth it all to you. I have something for you. I love Magus's theme. Ah, the Masamune. I bet you're just dying to use it. The black wind begins to blow. Okay, give me your best shot. If you're prepared for the void. Now only fire damages him. We actually don't have fire, so... Only lightning damages. Okay. Now we can use Chrono spells. Love how enthusiastic he was over Pyre. I watched an analysis of it yesterday. Going on with PvP was such investment. I'm hyped to finally get around to it. Yeah, I'd love to play some versus. I don't think it has online versus, however. Oh. He was already barrier changed. Whoops. Okay, barrier changed into fire. There are programs for playing couch co-op games together on PC. Oh! Cool. Then yeah, we should totally do something like that. Now only shadow damages. I forgot this team kind of sucks for doing this because you only have 2 of the elements and he barrier changes to all of the elements. So you end up just not being able to attack him half the time. Dang, only shadow. Parsec gaming is really good. I play some fighters with friends do that because the in-game online if the game's not goes bad. That's super funny. Have to go get like a third-party program. Only shadow. Man, we're never gonna be able to hit him. This sucks. Marvel 3 is actually playable online via that. That is a feat. Only water damages, okay. This is actually really good. Can do some combinations with dude. Now only lightning damages. Oh. Gotta get him while he's still in lightning, because we can actually damage him with that. Oh, heal is for all allies. I didn't notice that. We had Darren Korb in here, right? I'm not just hallucinating. Yeah, that was so awesome. I'm still like in awe that that really happened. So cool. Oh, is Sarab down? Oh my god, she is. When did he send the original email? Oh, when did I send the original email? I sent that about a week and a half ago, I believe. Okay, water damages. This is good. Can do an ice sword. Yeah, we'll still be able to do that. Better heal people first. Yeah, he actually, the first time Darren emailed me, like, I had gotten somebody else, and they were like, I'll pass it on to Darren, who said he might be available for something like that. Darren first emailed me yesterday, and was like, do you want to do this, like, tomorrow at 1 p.m.? And I was like, yeah! So that's why we had such short notice from it. Nice, we got another ice sword attack. He's being real nice with the barriers. Magus risks casting a spell. Alright, this is gonna hurt when he does it, but his defense is down until then. So sick though. So ready to fill that extra stop with those enthused about the game. Yeah, it was so cool to have someone that I look up to that much in the call. Dark Matter, Magus' strongest attack. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Okay, one death, but is he revivable? I don't have any revives, so no. Oh no. I should have healed with her. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh no, he's gonna do it again. And we're gonna die to it this time. Of course, Vex chooses now to end the crits. No more crits. There we go. Crit time again. Alright, so we won't go down to this. But if he does another attack really soon after it, we might die. He's just gonna do dark matter over and over, oh my god. Sorry, I forgot to scream. Germa, I would like for you to give me the crits now, please. I think Ice Water will do a lot of damage. Got it. We did it. We stopped Lavos. What have you done to the Masamune? What the... Could it be? Lavos? Bad timing. Don't wake up on me now. Wake up? You're the one who created him. You fools. I only summoned him. He lives in the inner earth, absorbing the land's power and growing ever stronger. What? What's going on? The gate? You... If you hadn't shown up... Dude! Whoa! If you have Robo here, he detects a gate of an enormous magnitude. And that noise. It's a very distinctive noise. Oh my god, I didn't even change the title and category of my stream. Whoops. We were talking for so long about wrong stream games. Whoops. Didn't even realize, yeah. We're both like reeling from actually having Darren Korb. Dude, wake up. Dude, awake? Cindy! Cindy had strange dream. Went to Mystic Mountains. Everyone lie there hurt. I carry back to hut. Magus! Yummy frog for Cindy eat? Perish the thought, lass. By the way, whither the blue-haired one? Only find you there. Blue hair one more tasty? We have lost him. But if Magus didn't create Lavos, where did it come from? Lavos? Not worried now. You rest. Hurt bad. Dude, okay now? Cindy busy. Look for La Ruba village. Fight reptites together. Destroy reptites or we no survive. Kino! What happened? Quiet. Dude, rest. Northwood burning. Northwood burning. Sounds bad. I keep pressing that button. Why do I think Y is the button for the menus? Reptites take Kino. Reptites hurt all who fight. What do now? Reptites follow Cindy. Cindy, bad luck. Those who fought, killed. You disobey, so Reptites mad. Cindy, this your fault. Look at mess. Reptites followed you, so village now ruined. Cindy feel bad. Reptites strong. They live long time before us. They smart, so we hide. But Cindy say fight together. Cindy still fight. Cindy fight while alive. Win and live, lose and die. Rule of life, no change rule. Old man breathe, but dead on inside. Cindy, you strong can make big talk. We no have power. No, have power. We fight, gain more power. Cindy help you, but need Dactyl. Give Dactyl. Need Dactyl. Go to Tyranno Lair, that reptile's place. Dangerous. Cindy won't die. Oof, that burn. Prehistoric burns. Want to live, so go there. Cindy be okay. Give Dactyl. Okay, go to Dactyl's nest and Keeper will help. Careful, Cindy. Thank you, old man. You take care, Cindy. I think if you go to the Laruba ruins after the story, there's someone who can let you change your name. But I guess they're still just talking story stuff now. I am mondo hungry. It is 4 o'clock. Suppose I could wait. Yeah, I'll wait. I'll be fine. So I need to go to the north here to Dactyl Nest. Oh, actually, I think they have more things to trade with me at the trading hut. Oh, that's the chief's hut. Oops. Can't buy revives here. That sucks. I can sell all my useless armors. But maybe I'll keep them, because we don't need to buy anything. Yeah, see, now they sell Dream Gun, Dream Bow, Magma Hand, Eon Blade. A Dream Gun. We got the Magma Hand. And the Eon Blade, okay. There we go. Eon Blade is so much more damage. 15 more damage for dude. Can give her a bit more damage on her bow. Give him the and then Dream Gun. Nice. Alright, let's go get Dactyl. I'm thinking of actually switching out so that my other partners don't get too low level. Could go with the heavy hitter squad. Let's do like that, I think. Yeah, everybody's pretty even level, which is nice. Let's do it like that. Hey there, President Donald J. Trump. No breaks, huh? Oh my god, I thought I got past him, but apparently I didn't. Oh yeah, and we got blade toss. I think Robo can like throw Frog's blade or something. Let's try it out. Oh, I see. Blade toss is in like toss Frog with blade outstretched. Pretty cool. We learned our first triple tech. Alright, now we have a triple tech. It's triple raid. Alright, let's try out our new triple tech. It's an ultimate physical attack. It's actually really good. Yeah, the techs in this game sure are cool. Reptites are bad hombres, believe me. They had their chance, now the mammals will reign. Yeah, I'm sure you're all about that, huh, President Donald J. Trump? Let me swap Soraya in the party so that she can... Oh wait, actually... A cool thing about this game is that every combination of 3 characters, excluding the ones with the secret partner, every combination of 3 characters has a triple tech associated with it. He walked all the way around. That was kind of silly. The magma fist effect is cool. An easy to miss thing about this game is that every new weapon that you equip gives new visual effects for attacking. Also, there was supposed to be like a dactyl keeper, but she kind of just raised her arms into the sky. Dude! Thou goest forth alone. I know not of thine quest, but a comrade of dudes is also mine. I will not allow thee to meet thy demise alone. No! Tyranno lair dangerous, maybe all perish. You desire to perish? I refuseth to be party to yet another demise. Let us proceed, dude. Cindy have strong friends. Let us proceed to the Tyranno lair. Only with Chrono, believe me. Not every combination. I thought there was. Oh, well, I know there are... Okay, so there's a triple tech for every one of them with Chrono, and then there's a few non-Chrono triple techs that you have to have specific items to find. But I thought that... I guess that doesn't complete out all the trios, huh? Thank you for the information of President Donald J. Trump 45. Maybe we should put Slowk in. She's kind of fallen behind in levels. Nice. So now we can fly over to the real Tyranno lair. We can also just fly like wherever we want. Like over here where we're not supposed to be yet. The Sun Keep. Wow. Can't do anything here yet. My favorite is the 3 girls combo, but no spoilers. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely get that. I'll definitely be trying to get the stones and using the triple techs. Unnatural selection. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to be ending my stream just a bit early today, because I am super hungry, and it is just about that time. So, sorry to end it so soon after you showed up, President Donald J. Trump, but I will be here again tomorrow. I'll be clipping that interview that I had with Darren Korb, posting that on my YouTube channel. Hunger too strong. Yeah. Can only keep it at bay so long. There's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with my name on it. Or at least there's gonna be in just a second. So, thank you. Did I save? Yeah, I did. Unnatural selection, yeah. Thank you to everyone who's watched, and to everyone who... Well done, Trump steak with ketchup. You would. Later.